can't come
The
and say
same way
bottle
he
job,
said
bottle job.
that. He's actually criticising himself. He's saying we haven't been good enough.
I'm giving my back pages to Martin Odegaard for fooling me for the last 3 years.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever time you're listening, wherever time you're watching, welcome back to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, De La Strada, sometimes a free agent, but most times I collect trophies. But Strives, let's go to you.
Yeah, man. What you saying, man? It's your boy Strives. You can call me Striver. Representing Arsenal, as you guys know. It's been a tough couple of weeks. Really tough, man. Really tough. But I'm just here to... I'm just here for work, as I do. Here to talk football with my boys.
Yeah, Dre, man.
Yeah, Dre, Man United fan. Just the usual spiel. What can I say? The Prem's the same. We're not looking forward to that anymore because that's done. Dead season. We're looking forward to the final, but let's keep it moving.
Marley Marl?
Yeah, Marley Mar here. Fresh off another successful European contest in the final, as Drayman said. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Everything else is non-existent.
And next up, Jerry?
Yeah, it's your boy Jerry Nomadic, a.k.a. Liverpool's #1 fan, a.k.a. champion, a.k.a. all the positive things you can say about a man today. Yes, here for football. Nice weekend. Let's get it, boys.
Yeah, and we have a returning guest with us today, goes by the name of Big Tibbz. So, yeah.
Yeah, Big Tibbz, Liverpool fan, you know. Just looking forward to the parade on the 26th.
You man going there?
Yeah, I got my coach booked, got my hotel booked. I'm going up there, you know. Lift the trophy.
Physically.
Was that the first time you've been to Liverpool this season?
Nah, spiritually. Yeah.
Was that the first time you've been to Liverpool this season? Have you seen a game?
No, I went to the Spurs Cup game at Anfield. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough.
Is that the one when they played Free From Desire?
Possibly. I don't know. I know North London was white, so it was fine. I don't know.
He looks good in his armchair, like he's been in it all season.
I sit like because the prestigious parliamentary, you know.
Cool. Before we get into it, let me do some housekeeping. You can find us on all major platforms, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. You can interact with us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. So yeah, like, comment, and share. So let's get into it. As you can see, there's two Liverpool fans there. There's Strives on the Arsenal side of things. But we already know the Premiership's already been established. We know who the winners are. We know who's getting relegated. The most thing being played for now is just basically race for the Champions League or race for Europe, actually. But let's go to the midweek games first. Midweek European games first. So obviously, Arsenal, the PSG 3, Arsenal 1. So that's on aggregate. Now you've had the dust settled. How do you feel? What's your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, first off, how I feel is you make me sick for wearing that shirt. That's the first thing I want to say.
I said I only had to collect trophies. Man.
I just wanted to just make that be known to everybody. So anyone that's seen my behaviour,
speak up.
That's fine. I just want to put that out there. So for anyone that has seen my behaviour on previous pods, and now you may understand why I talk to and treat De La Strada the way I do. Look at what he's doing. So anyway, as we die.
Do you think I'm trolling you?
I don't know that if you're trying. I just don't know why you're wearing that. It's a day of all days.
So when should I wear it?
That's anyway. Okay, let's get back to the podcast.
Okay.
Now the dust is settled. It's funny because last week I said that I think we should start quickly, and we did. I was very happy. I was glad. But we didn't have enough quality in the final third to make it count. And then I just started kind of like replaying some of De La Strada's like words back, and I was calling him risk averse. I was accusing him of letting Arteta get to him. And essentially he may have been right, like, because when I think about it, like the way I wanted to play would have suited us had Arsenal followed what I wanted in the beginning, as in getting a striker, someone that could finish off chances. But where we didn't have those tools in place, like we did everything almost right, but we just couldn't, like we just didn't have that quality in the final third to punish them, especially where they had their goalkeeper who was on some new stuff. He was not going to be denied. So yeah, I think in hindsight, I thought to myself, Della might have actually been right on this one. Like maybe we should have just been boring, bored them out, test their concentration, so to speak, like just see how long they can stay concentrated and maybe try and pick them off. I think it might have been risky, but maybe that might have been the strongest tool that we had available to us. That being said, I say that to also say I do feel a little bit unfortunate because on another day, Saka doesn't miss that open goal. Obviously, he scored that Saka, big you up. But maybe on another day, you don't miss that open goal. Maybe on another day, Trossard scores his chances. Maybe Martinelli scores his chances. So it's just one of them games. And I know Arteta's gone out and said a few things that was a little bit. I'd rather he didn't. Let's put it that way.
So before you on the Arteta one, I can clarify what I was saying. I didn't say just defend. As I said, you have a plan to go out and potentially attack, but you're playing away to PSG. So assess it first, then you can play yourself into the game. So
but I think you may have been right there because I think like the way we went at it, so like full throttle in the first 20 minutes or so, I fear, even in retrospect, when I think back on it, perhaps we blew a gasket. And
I think if Arsenal went for it and they got picked up and picked off and PSG scored on the counter, then you can say they had a wrong approach, but they scored from a corner.
Yeah, and it was a bit of against the run of play, but and I was going to go on to obviously discuss Arteta's comments. Like I said, I would prefer he just like timing in it, but like I use this analogy in a couple of the group chats when like boxers get knocked out. We don't interview them in it because they're baffled, they're dazed or whatnot. Now, obviously, he didn't take any punches to the head, but when you've got so much riding on this and you're a self-professed winner, you want to win. Like your head's in a daze when you've just been knocked out of like the biggest trophy that you could, like the only trophy remaining that you could win and the biggest trophy to compete for, in my opinion. So I just think, like a proud man, obviously very like crazy intent to win. I just think he was just saying some mad stuff. He was just saying some stuff. However, with that being said, objectively, when you look at the stats, I can see why he was trying to say what he said.
To you, what did he say that was mad?
So you can't say that we were the better team, or we were the best team in Champions League. You can't say we were better than PSG because ultimately, although objectively all the stats were in our favour, the one stat that wasn't were the goals. Yeah. And they were more clinical in front of goal. They looked a bit more threatening in front of goal. They looked a bit more probable in front of goal. Like when the balls fell to them in danger areas, I don't know about you or anyone else on the pod, but I felt like they looked like they could score more than we looked like.
I think you're saying that because they actually did score.
Yeah. And also because I know my boys, I know my team. Like, so I say that, and it's ironic because obviously I've seen us put bare past PSV. We've dealt with Real Madrid. You know what I mean? When Liverpool bottled the 2-0 lead just the other day, I've seen us come back. So obviously I know we can score goals, innit? But
question.
Yeah.
So you don't agree that he's you like the best team in the Champions League? Do you think you're top two?
I think the top two are in the final.
Okay. All right. So so you agree that he's a liar then?
No.
I wouldn't say he's a liar, but what I'm trying to say is I can understand why he's got that approach. Remember, he's a winner. He's not out there he's trying to be a winner. Yeah. So he's not out there trying to just concede defeat. And when he's looking at it, and obviously this is a man that, in my opinion, is excessively controlling. So the way he's orchestrated and coached this team, when you look at it, these new stats for people like maybe yourself that are unable to read the game, no shots, but you might not be able to read the game. So they've invented this stat called XG and whatnot. So what that does is it kind of lets you know who on probability look like the most like scoring. And when you look at their XG for those games,
wait, did you just explain XG to us? What?
No, because everyone's disregarding it. Everyone's disregarding like it's like all stuff.
Nobody cares about XG. It's a new thing for.
This is what everyone says. When it's not in their favour, it's a full stat. It's a full stat.
No. When you don't win, nobody cares about XG. That's a fact.
Okay.
We can talk about football and the context of football.
What I would say to Arteta, because I'll give him the I'll give him a bit, because I don't agree with what you're saying. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I actually think he's not crazy enough to say that statement without having a reason to say it, because he went on all the platforms and said it. I actually think he was trying to take the heat away from the players by saying something so outlandish that all the media attention after the game, because obviously you got knocked out, is going to be on Arteta in his comments, and that's the way it seems to be, because no one's talking about like Arsenal the team.
But what is there to say about Arsenal the team? Apart from losing.
No trophies again in the second season.
No, but that's because you asked what is there to say.
One thing I would really like us to do, I know we have our discourse in our group chats where we troll, but I think when we come on the air, let's try to be.
No, don't do that.
No, because you asked the question. You said, hang on, you asked the question. You said, what is there to say? This is not what we're saying. People can say bottle jobs.
I don't think you can say bottle jobs.
No.
That's what people say. But
the question is
not bottle jobs. What they're saying is that Arsenal go another season.
What can be said? Which is what you think can be said.
I personally feel like it's another opportunity, like Stravs has always mentioned, of them not crossing the line, because you've spoken about that a few times. But you said what can be said, and people have said that it's a bottle job. The same way he said that Liverpool.
Everything can't be a bottle job. Let's improve our vocabulary. But we can't keep on saying bottle job.
The same way he said just a second ago that Liverpool bottled a 2-0 lead against Arsenal is the same way people can say that they bottled the opportunity against PSG.
Yeah, let's be.
So why are you pulling me up? But you're not pulling him up when he said it.
But what you're saying is like this is what fans are saying. It's not isolated amongst your boys. Like this is what people are saying. And if they don't say bottle jobs, what they're saying is that Arsenal go, and which is factual, they go another season without a trophy.
But all I'm trying to say is that all this every single thing is bottle job. Every single there's more to our vocabulary than this bottle job.
If you want to change the language, then we'll say serial underachievers.
No, but what I'm talking about is
professionals in failure. I like that one.
Professionals in failure.
But while you guys are like trying to do whatever you lot
what
trying
you
to do,
gave. We give what you gave.
But
remember,
it's not right though. It's not factual because you can't call us serial underachievers.
What have you achieved?
Just 3 years ago we were finishing back-to-back 8th. Just 3 years ago, or even 4 years ago, or even 5 years ago, we were undertaking a severe rebuild. Just a couple of years ago,
I think that means something to you, but
no, it does because back them times, if I spoke to you, because I did speak to you, I spoke to every single one of you about football around them times, and not any of you expected to see Arsenal in the upper echelons battling for the top honours. Again, none of you did.
Agreed.
None of you did. So we can't be underachievers when we've overachieved even you lot's expectations.
No, I think there was probably a couple of seasons where you probably overachieved, but at this point, like you're going into Champions League, you're one of the favourites.
They were full favourites.
Yeah, but you're saying we belong now, yeah, and I agree, we belong now, but you can't say underachievers when you would have
underachieved. Because if you belong, you still haven't won anything. Is that not underachievement at that point?
No, because. All right, so
the expectation is to you to win something this season. You haven't, so it's another underachievement.
Okay, but
when does the underachievement start from?
I would say from last season. I would say because that season when you came close the first time, you came second.
You can't say they're serious underachievers.
No. But we have different opinions.
No, but you both said one season.
No, he said serial underachievers. I said one this season. He said last season. So you're trying to paint us all the same name. I'm
just trying to get at you lot saying it wasn't factual. So, and obviously I did pick up from the serial underachievers because it's not true. It's not true. And again, you lot will laugh at some of the stats that these media platforms are throwing up. But after the game, the Liverpool and Arsenal game, they started showing the points amassed over the last 3 seasons. Okay. And Arsenal's second. Yeah, and it's weird. Like, it's second, but we've got no trophies to count for it.
Because no one cares about it.
No one cares about it. But what it does is immeasurable. When you're measuring the progression, how far Arsenal have come back to, like I put your minds back to 3, even just 3-4 years ago when none of you, even me, I did not expect this of Arsenal. Hence why when we had the 22-23 season, I was tight-lipped up until when we had 10 games left to play, when I was forced to say, all right, cool, man, we have to. I was forced by everyone. Because at that point, with that lead, I can't now say that I don't expect us to win because I'd be lying. I'd be lying to myself. At that point, I'm expecting any team in that position to cross the line. So when we didn't, it's like, all right, cool. Let you off, young boys, never been in this position. Then you do it again.
So is that what you're saying as an excuse?
It's not an excuse.
You said young boys been in that position.
Young boys have never been in that position.
But you said you're expecting them to win.
No. So I expected them to win, but then when they didn't win, I can legislate it with that reasoning. So it's not, you can call it an excuse, but it's a legitimate reason.
Okay.
They're young, they've never been here before. The second season now, they've done it back to back. They've gone on a massive run. Again, Man City usurped us. Like, Man City was Man City. You get what I'm saying? Like, went to the final 45 minutes of the season. Again, I can be like, you know what, boys? Unfortunately, I thought we was going to win it that year. That was last year. Now, this year is the only year that I can say all of you had expectation of Arsenal. And ironically, this was the year I didn't have the expectation of Arsenal, but you guys did. So you can't now say serial underachievers.
Okay,
when there's only one year.
Tibbz.
But this is why Tibbz is here. Like, he's gonna get his opportunity to speak. And
sorry, Strauss, quick one, because you said they did the points tally over the last 3 seasons. Arsenal second, obviously, and you said it's a measurable. But for you, that's measurable. But I think for the other people, this is why they're saying serial underachievers, because we measure success in trophies.
So when you saw that stat, that don't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean anything to me because it's
No
not.
one's going to remember that.
You don't get a trophy for that, in my opinion.
Okay.
No, it's not even my opinion.
I'm not saying we're not getting a trophy for that.
That's why we honour the people that do win trophies.
But I'm just saying,
laugh at the ones that don't.
my question was, it doesn't mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Like, obviously,
not
we
really.
didn't win a trophy, but you see that, and that don't mean anything to you.
No. It
No,
doesn't, bro.
to me, I think it shows a level of consistency that obviously Arsenal have been well over the last few years. But what my thing is, it's like it needs to.
It needs to culminate in something.
It needs to matter in it. Like, obviously, you had a couple of seasons where you've been fantastic, and obviously this season you've dropped off in it. Like, and the comment that, because Arteta's been a wild boy the last couple of weeks. What did he say?
You said the points tally was enough.
It was enough to win the title twice.
Just on that, let me just land on that one. I think what the media does here, and we know what the media does.
No, just what happened. Say what happened.
Say what happened.
Say what happened.
Like, we know,
we all got our opinions.
Yeah, so we know what the media does, and sometimes we just fall into it.
No, say what happened. Say what happened.
Can I just finish, please? And they take sound bites, push it in there, then we start talking about it. All he said is that this season, I think it was more or less saying this is the moment for Liverpool. Liverpool had their moment and they've taken it. Arsenal had their moment, but they didn't take it because essentially, say for the last 2 seasons, we've had Arsenal.
He said this.
Yeah, he also said something about
Did he say what you're saying? I never heard him say what you're saying.
I listened to the article.
I listened to it. No, I listened to a bit, but
you listened to the soundbite, and I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah, because I want to know because you might be explaining it in your words.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't. Because I don't think that's what he said.
It's either going to be my word or whatever. So I'm paraphrasing it, but all he's essentially saying, because obviously I think he was being interviewed for ahead of the PSG game. So he's saying the last 2 seasons Arsenal had amassed more points than Liverpool, but this is their moment and they've taken it. Arsenal didn't take their moment, but he's saying we are here now. Hopefully, for this PSG game, we will take our moment. So essentially, what he's saying is that you have to take your moment. But what they've clipped up is like what he said, and now you guys have run with it.
Okay.
So what was your opinion on him saying that? Because I heard him say we would have won 2 trophies.
Yes.
What was he talking about?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Your paraphrase is
if we're taking things in that moment in time, we would have won 2 trophies. But that wasn't. We didn't take advantage.
But what
they didn't take advantage of the moment.
What they had. Can I get an opportunity to try to clarify?
I don't
because I think your one's a bit more.
So because I understand what Della's saying, but basically what Arteta, and remember, English isn't his first language.
His delivery is poor.
Let's just
bro, are you really going to use that as an excuse?
Why is that on the
let him land first, then question.
Why is that on the table?
What?
I'm going to give you an opportunity to take that down from the table.
What?
This thing.
What?
Oh, right. Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
The sticky rice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I just want to know what I said.
Bro,
anyway, let me get back to that.
Yeah.
And you've got an opportunity. By the time I finish, this So anyway, back to Arteta. So essentially, it sounds mad because it sounds like, oh, we've got more points. This is how it was taken. Del Estrada's trying to say like it was misconstrued because they're trying to say people thought that he was saying Arsenal have more points than Liverpool did at this point of the season, and Liverpool's won the championship, whereas Arsenal, we didn't win the championship. So with the points that we've had, we would have been champions 2 times over. That's the way it's been.
That's what he said.
I don't know if that's what
no, that's what he said.
But that's what he said, bro. But let me tell you how I understood it, and this is how I think this is what I think he was saying.
Yeah.
In that moment, we're going up against Manchester City. It was a completely different moment. Now, that wasn't good enough for us. Yeah, so with the point tallies and the way that we performed, that wasn't good enough. But what you've done this season was good enough for you. And you've done what you needed to do in this moment. You've done what you've needed to do in this moment, and you're the Premier League champions, and it's well-deserved. He's gone on record and said it. He's done an interview with Sky Sports like a day or 2 ago where he's given Liverpool the credit, said you were the best team, you were the better team than me,
100%.
and you've done what you needed to do. But however, what he's saying, though, is Arsenal performed at a better and a higher rate better and a higher rate in his opinion last season and the season before. And if you take that performance and you put that in this moment, we'd be Premier League champions. What you're saying, you have to be at the right place at the right time. Because
the point is that all that he said before is irrelevant. Because everybody knows that there are seasons where you're going to get higher points on low points. Hang on, let me finish. Every season, the requirement to win the title changes. So why does it matter, bro?
Yeah,
it's that being in the moment.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he's one of them guys that likes to paint. He likes to paint pictures with his words.
He also likes to make Arsenal a bit bigger than they are in that situation. Because nobody cares about you winning the trophy or not winning the trophy.
I think if you're committed to misunderstanding him, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that viewpoint. But
if you're committed to delivering incorrectly,
but when I'm listening to him, I'm not hearing that incorrectly. I'm understanding exactly what he means. He's basically saying that. Because, we was talking about the group chats, Della. You're not in this group. And Tibbz, you're not in this group, yeah. But we've got some Belmont alumni group. And there's a guy, one of our pals used to play for us, Lev. And he was saying, basically, similar to what Joey's saying, like, why are you saying this kind of stuff? You're not a winner. Why are you... It's like he's bit like... It's like guys are committed to misunderstanding him. Because what he's not saying is, Liverpool we've got the same amount of points as Liverpool have this season, so we should be champions. He's not saying that. What he's saying is, at the right place, you have to be at the right place at the right time, and you have to use your momentum
and get over the line.
Properly to get over the line. He's actually cussing him. He's actually criticizing himself. He's saying we haven't been good enough.
So strive.
That's actually what he's saying. He's being very candid.
I would take that, but I don't believe he was. And if it was more apparent and that's what he was doing, I'd be like, fair enough. But to me, it's just like, I heard the point and I was like, what does it matter?
You heard the full article. I mean,
I heard that point and that's enough. We just spoke about it. It's enough to say, what does it matter? Like, how many other teams have had like crazy amount of points?
You know what? You're being disingenuous. And Tibbz, tell the truth.
91 points and 92 points.
So you even taking the word out. When you guys got your 90 plus points, how many days and seasons were you crying about it? I never understood it at the time.
What, bro? What do you mean crying?
Oh, that we've got 90 plus points and we couldn't win the league with that. This is crazy. I remember Bods definitely was doing it. You were definitely doing it, Joey. Tibbz, I know for a fact you were doing it. Hang on.
Why Lev said that he's a loser for that is because you're not hearing any of these other managers coming out and talking about that.
You're telling me Klopp ain't said something similar because I'll go and find some clue. I'll go and find it, bro. You're telling me Klopp didn't make no reference to the points that he amassed.
Find one.
You gotta find it.
Mission accepted.
Regardless of it, because obviously you're saying anyway, you can see the stats and whatever. But what has been the demise then? Because where
are you talking about demise? Are we 16th like you?
No, but I'm not talking about Man United.
I'm just asking the question.
I can't say demise.
No, in terms of you're in the.
I would have attacked as well.
I'm saying at the start of the season, Arsenal are in 4 competitions: the Prem, the FA Cup, Carabao, and Champions League. So my thing is,
only one team can win those cups.
We know that, but I'm saying,
why can't that be us?
Yeah.
No, but exactly. That's my whole point.
Why can't that be us? Good question, man. Yeah, I'll tell you why it can't be us. In the summer, we didn't equip our team as well as we could have. In January, when we had another opportunity, we didn't. Now, take that to one side. That to one side, we've shown with that team and with the additions we've got, it's got a little bit stronger. Well, I have to say we have got a little bit stronger, even though we didn't equip it the way we should have. But then, guess what else happened? Then we then had a crazy injury crisis. Now, and Tibbz, I'm hearing the murmurs in the background, but these ain't excuses. This is objectivity. I am telling you what's actually happened. I'm not making it up.
I can't even.
I'm not making it up.
Because when it happened to us in Ten Hag, he was actually the one that was saying. So you're consistent. Fair enough. Because I agree.
Yeah, and when you've got these injuries,
but when it happened to Liverpool, I can't remember. You beat me, but I can't remember.
I'll tell you how much you're buying that.
No, you did not give me a buy. You did not, bro.
Phillips.
When you lot beat us in the FA Cup, bro, you was on smoke, bro. When Rashford scored that goal, bro. I can't remember what you were on.
I'll tell you how I know why I wasn't getting onto you, because this season when we was doing our predictions, I actually credited the fact that you had injuries, which is why I believed you were going to finish above us. And you was like, how can you say that? And I was like, because of your injuries, we can probably pull it back on from one of the previous episodes. Yeah. So with injuries, you can't just negate that. Like, you can't just act like that.
I do though. For the record, I'm not having anybody talk
Yeah,
about
but if Salah was injured, if Virgil van Dijk was injured, if
then you just carry on, bro. You don't make
you do
excuses,
carry on,
bro.
but
Just
then guess
carry
what
on.
happens?
Do
You
better
finish
as a
third.
manager, bro.
You finish
Yeah,
third
you
like
take
you
a
did
dip.
last season. You know what I'm
You do
saying?
take a dip.
And you take a dip.
You won the Champions League with Salah injured.
You
bro.
say you take a dip.
So
You do take a dip.
Hold on, wait. And you the guy that said you should have a team that's coached well by the manager. So
okay,
someone should go to...
Mars is trying to do factor.
I remember him saying it.
Yeah, let me land. No, let me
The squad is
land.
big enough.
We were talking about ETH. Specifically about ETH.
Yeah.
And I said, irrelevant of how your squad is, for the last couple of seasons he's been there, we should see the better performance. And that's what I've always been on record saying. I don't care whether you amass points, but show us something. As a coach, please coach. That's what I've said. Never said, oh, you should. I said, bro,
He just
play
wants to see
better.
good football.
That's all I'm
football.
saying,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
And whereas you guys you guys don't just want to see better football. You want to see results. You want to see us win everything.
this is a
Yeah,
results
yeah.
game.
I know, but
We want to see
Tibbz,
continued
I hear
progress.
you.
Do you know what?
continued
I understand what you're saying by you measure success yearly, but at some point the measurement has to stop. You have to start reaping what you sow. You have to start showing us some achievements.
But when are you going to take into account the context of things as well? Like, I get the rivalry and I get the bants, but are you going to tell me that those injuries, like those injuries, don't move none of your hearts? Like,
Who is it? Odegaard and Saka?
bro, when Odegaard was out, you man was all calling us set piece FC. I got the memes from every single one of you. I can prove it all. You calling us set piece FC, saying we can't create without Odegaard. Then when he because I was arguing, I think Saka's more important than Odegaard, but we used to have this discourse. Big up Cuff, he's always bigging up Odegaard, whatnot. He's actually contributed to the back pages for this episode. He's a clown, but yeah. Then we've got Saka injured, and imagine that's who I'm saying is our most important player. We got him injured. Then you got Havertz injured, and this is a guy who was a lot of fans weren't having, but then eventually we've all kind of started to we've all taken him in, and this guy is and. Bro, you've even had a bet. You've lost bets.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, because your face is looking like you're not buying it, but Havertz has cost you money. Yeah, so we've lost these players. Ben White, surgery. We've lost players. Yeah, I've seen a graphic that says that players that have missed 7 games or more, and we've been able to field a whole team with that. And I guarantee that team alone is probably finishing higher than Manchester United this season. They're 16th at the moment. I guarantee those guys that were injured are still at least in the top 6. At least in the top 6.
Imagine.
Bro, I can do that with Chesto. With that squad.
But it's facts, though. When you say Somalia, those injuries have happened.
No, he said
but I'm saying all those guys.
Higher than Man United.
You see all the guys like your Jesus, Saka, your Odegaard, whatnot.
It's facts.
No, because we've never seen that injured that played.
Huh?
Yeah, no, innit?
But
So
yeah,
what about the injured players?
What if the injured players were available?
yeah, I'm saying no. I'm saying you see the I don't know if you've seen this graphic. Yeah, there's a graphic going around where Arsenal can make an 11 out of players that have missed 7 players or more.
He's saying that team will finish above Man United.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd finish above United.
Probably, but
They'd finish above Spurs.
Yeah.
What have you not?
But
So I'm just saying that's a lot of power that we've missed out.
The thing is that
Just to answer Drayman's question as to
when we're having
these
these conversations, so obviously there's injuries. Obviously, people have children, like Odegaard, that was what your excuse for, or somebody's excuse for him. Obviously, people's parents pass away. Obviously, these things happen in football.
Yeah.
We can't go for every team and then go through their list. Oh, this is the reason. This is the context there. This is the context there. You just do a clean slate for every team in the league. That's why I'm not having any of these extra contexts, bro. The fact is, when we look back in 5 years, we're not going to look at, this is the season where we had all these injuries. We're going to say Arteta hasn't performed well or has performed well, and he's delivered this and he hasn't delivered that. They don't care about all of that context, bro, because there's only so far that context is going to take you. At some point, you have to deliver. So let's just say, for example, next season, Arteta has another injury season, or he doesn't, whatever. As long as he's not delivering, nobody's going to care that in the seasons, 2 seasons ago, he had 29 players out or 27 players out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally can't keep context because I don't care about that season. We didn't have no centre-backs.
I agree with what you're saying. And I feel like in the season, we can apply context because we're going through it. Fast forward to 2 years, no, context is relevant. You either won it or you didn't win it. It's black and white.
Exactly.
But I think when you do have injuries, we have to say, okay, it plays a part to how well you perform.
Agreed.
You guys fell off last season because you lost, was it Salah?
I don't think that's why, to be fair.
But maybe,
I think because we still could have won games without Salah, in my opinion. Yeah. But I feel like the Klopp delivery...
But it plays a part.
Exactly. But that's a nuance that nobody cares about.
Yeah,
nobody cares that nobody cares that Klopp announced that he's leaving and then maybe that might affect the performance. All we care about is that we finish third.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the injury, nobody cares about it, man. Like,
No, but you know what
but,
it is? Yeah, sorry, Della.
we need to get back
you
to
take
Champions League, but
control, but
yeah.
Listen, you guys know where I'm at with Arteta and Arsenal and what I expect, my expectations. But what I feel like I'm quite decent at doing. Sorry, I missed that. What you said for me?
You said Arteta
You said
out.
Arteta out.
I'm not Arteta out, but I'm just like, like
said Arteta out.
I said this season I'm giving him 1 year extension to win something, and if he doesn't, then
I think that's fair.
I
think that's fair.
No, that was this season.
Oh, was it this season?
Yeah, so now I'm
okay.
indifferent. Like if like I said, we was out on Saturday at your pal Jake's bar, big him up as well. Yeah, big up. And then that was dope, man. Like, you should come on the pod. Yeah, but I said to a couple of you guys there, I think Della was there. I said if I woke up tomorrow morning and I saw a yellow bar saying Mikel Arteta resigned, I'd go for my jog same way and I'd be cool. Like, I'd be waiting for who's coming in. And that's not just to say because I don't think Arteta's a good coach. I think he's great. But I also think that he's on his journey. And then me as an Arsenal fan, I'm on my journey with Arsenal. And like Joey's talking about, in 6 years' time, or, if we're sitting down like this in this very same room, in 6 years' time, no one's going to give a toss that we had 27 injuries this season or however many injuries it's going to be. It's just going to be like second. No trophy, Charity Shield, no trophy, FA Cup. That's what
it might not even
say
That's mad, bro.
You only see Wikipedia, bro.
So that's you're even compiling my point. You're even compiling my point. You might not even say that. So I'm on the thing of I need to see you cross the line. However, I just feel like I'm fair enough to also apply the nuance and the context as to why this may not have happened to him. That's why I'm not writing him off, but I'm just saying you can't be unlucky 6 years in a row. So maybe this was your role. Forget us progressing. Get us to that point, and then maybe someone else can do the little extras. That's where I'm at. But I might be wrong.
Second part of the question, if you don't mind. Hypothetically speaking, summer, June 1st, July 1st, wherever it is, you see the yellow banner, Arteta's resigned. What's the profile of manager to take Arsenal to that next step? Do you think that's an easy thing to get to that next step? Or?
I mean, it's not an easy thing, but we have seen, the only thing I knew about Arne Slot is he takes questionable photos where he poses in a way that I wouldn't. And this guy was managing in Netherlands and now he's won a league in his first season. So all I'm trying to say is it's possible that you might not even know about a guy who's capable of taking you across the line. That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get back into the car. Champions League. So yeah, it's now 3-1 on aggregate to PSG. We've obviously dissected. No, we've not even dissected the game. I don't think we've got time for that. But essentially, PSG ran out winners over the course of the game. What would you guys say? It was a balanced game? Obviously the best team essentially won because on paper they scored more goals, but
yeah, no. So one thing Strive said, he said that about Martinelli, Trossard, and maybe Saka scoring those chances. I think it's a big hypothetical because I don't think those guys missed the chances because they're not good. I think it's the occasion. And I don't know if that was weighing too heavy on them in that situation.
Mental block.
You can call it whatever you call it, but for some reason, those goals that should have been goals, in everyone's opinion, weren't goals. So I slightly disagree with you on that, but I feel like obviously in terms of chess game, Arsenal did very well to have possession and to create the opportunities, but there was just something when you're watching it where you just felt like it's not going to happen. And I think Luis Enrique done a good job to do that because I felt the same against Liverpool as well.
We all knew that the firepower PSG had anyway. So
no, not really.
We say firepower, but they didn't create that one.
Yeah, they didn't. But I don't know how to say it. But
suppose you're not saying anything,
bro. They beat you, bro.
I thought they played within themselves. To be fair, Arsenal played well. I think Arsenal could have got something out of the game, but I genuinely think PSG were cruising.
But you said that last week, and I want to pull something up. So you said last week when it was, I think it was only 1-0. You said PSG, when Arsenal came back into the game, you said that you felt like PSG started cruising.
Yeah, I think.
But technically, the time's not over yet. And now you're saying it again. It's that rather than giving Arsenal credit, but you're saying.
Hold on.
Let's
not just give Arsenal credit.
Listen to the point I'm trying to say. Rather than you saying it's more or less because of the way Arsenal did, that's why they more or less played within themselves. Because we've seen them against Man City, dominated. We've seen them against Villa, dominated. We've seen them against Liverpool, dominated. They didn't play within themselves there. But when you play in Arsenal, they've played within themselves.
That's
and
fair.
Is it not because it's Arsenal that's doing it?
No, I'm just saying. I preface the sentence with Arsenal played well.
But he was more focused on...
But I feel like PSG played with themselves. And
Why is
the reason I say that, I'll give examples. There's a chance in the first game with Barcola. He didn't look like he was even wanted to score. Ramos done some weird little chip thing where he hit the post.
But is that playing within yourself or not taking your chances?
I think it's cruising. That's what I think.
Why is it when Joey talks about our chances, he says that the occasion got to them, but then when you're talking about they're cruising. And I know you're not. Joey. But I feel like you both sing from the same hymn sheet more time than not. So why is it? Like, I just feel like the narrative.
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's just a narrative.
I don't know. I take Saka's chance, for instance. Saka had a great chance. I think
he did also score though. Let's give him some credit.
He scored. That's what I'm saying. Like Saka was playing well, but I just think like you look at the first game. You look at like Mendes. I've never seen Mendes play like that before. He was giving Saka the obviously the respect he deserves. Locked him down. But he didn't pass the halfway line in that game.
Because of Arsenal's tactic.
But that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen Mendes.
But that's not them playing within themselves, though. That's what I'm saying. It's because of
you know what?
I watch PSG a lot in it, and they're very, very attacking. So when I say they played within themselves,
Mendes tried it in the first leg and got cooked.
No, he played in the second leg. He
tried
in the second leg.
Sorry, in October, and then he got cooked.
That's different.
No, but you have to. I can't disregard it because he's taken that experience and now he's dealt with Saka better.
But I don't think it's a coach that has told him rather than you're saying that he's taking it upon himself. I think it's more the coach. I've now developed a way for us to play, and that Mendes in the 5-2 was not playing in the way Luis Enrique wants to play.
Let's say I'm playing against Tibbz, for instance, and Tibbz cooks me in the first game
every time.
I'm not gonna. It won't be every time because the second time I'm like, you're not cooking me like that again because I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I see what he done to me. So if it's like I get tight to him, he keeps burning me. I'm not gonna get tight to him. I'm gonna see what he does differently if I give him a yard. And you know what I mean? You just change it up a little bit, and then after you play each other 3 times, after a while you start to telegraph your opponent. You get what I'm saying? But even still, I can't say that Mendes didn't play well. I just said he adapted his game. I know you never said that, but you just said played within himself.
Yeah, I think
in my opinion, I'm translating that as not playing well because why would you play within yourself in a semi-final? I think he did play well. I think he played exceptional because he adapted his game to deal with the threat that was Bukayo Saka. And Saka still scored and he done his thing, but Mendes did very well. He didn't do as well as he did against Salah. I should put out there because I don't know where Salah was. At least we saw Saka.
So I think we spent a bit too long on that session.
Skelly had a bad game though.
I
know we're just trying to screw over that.
Speak on it. He's a young youth.
That's my guy, but he had it. That was a real here now. This is the
he needed
moments.
it though.
Yeah. It's awful penalty though. I'm not having that.
No, that wasn't a penalty.
I'm not having that penalty at all.
No, at all.
No,
it was never a penalty.
I can't.
Never.
He didn't work naturally. His hand weren't natural, but he stretched for the ball when it just happened. That's not having that.
But then why should Hakimi have to suffer for that? Do you know what I mean? Because Hakimi's shot was on target, and then now my shot that's on target is no longer going towards the target because your arm that isn't there. I didn't think it was a penalty, but you have to understand that they're trying to make it as black and white as possible, and
they're always blurring the lines.
But to be fair, I mean, I agree with you, Tibbz, but we're none of us. I don't think you've seen any Arsenal fan complain about it. It kind of is what it is.
No, they did.
It was a shock.
I got shout out Gira saying this is the UEFA is a scam. This is a sham. This is ridiculous. How can you lot celebrate us losing? Don't you know that they've cheated football?
Did you think it was your penalty at the same time? Because I thought it was Arsenal penalty.
I thought it was Arsenal penalty.
Because there was nothing.
I know you saw my tweet. I saw you react to it. Yeah, I celebrated like it was. I thought we got the penalty. You know, like when Saka got. I think was it Saka that got brought down?
I think it was Saka.
Yeah. So then VAR intervened like about a minute or so after.
He would have got that penalty if he didn't go down so mad. He went down mad.
Yeah,
he would have got the penalty if he just went down naturally. But he tried to put a little sauce on it.
Yeah, maybe. But when he came back, honestly, because I watched it at Prince of Peckham, big up Clem and that.
Just to wrap it up, I thought we were going to talk about MLS and not Saka.
Yeah. He stank though, innit?
I don't think he stank, but he did have
that game.
He had a couple of flaws,
but he's been great. He's been great.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can crucify him, man.
And sorry, also shout out VAR because for the neutral, bro, it's like wrestling,
bro. Honestly, that's what I was gonna say. That VAR was crazy, bro. Like honestly, like it was so awkward because I was, like when I'm in something, imagine me at boxing, bro.
Mm-mm.
I was screaming, shouting, yes, come on, I knew it's coming. Bruv, when the screen panned and it was a PSG penalty, I said, oh my God.
my God.
I was like, oh my God. Everyone looked at me. You know, everyone looking at me to see what my next move was. Oh man, honestly, I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that feeling on my worst enemy.
Oh, but before,
I was
gonna say, before Dilla moves, because obviously Partey came back for that game.
Oh.
What did you think
You lot build him up,
overall
where?
that he did?
You know what? I'd actually thought, like, obviously he was at fault for winning it, but I thought he played well. And in my opinion, I think Partey's biggest mistake was that stupid yellow he did at Real Madrid. I think if Partey's available with that first leg, we're probably talking about Arsenal in the final at the moment. And I think it's fine margins. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it.
But
So
when he played, you lost 3-1. And then when you did play, you
Well, you
lost
get what
1-0.
you're trying to say. Though. It's fine margins. And the mere fact that Partey was out, that meant different players had to play in different positions. You know.
Maybe you should have played twice with that Partey.
Let's move on to the other game. Let's be quick with this one. So the next game, 7-6 on aggregate. Inter Milan won. Barcelona now out. So essentially means it's Inter versus PSG in the final. But on that game, what's our thoughts on that game? Because technically it's probably one of those games that it brought the faith back in. Not faith back into football, because I think the defender was a bit terrible, but it made football fun again to watch. You know. So
Playground football.
Yeah, exactly. So what's our thoughts on that game?
Big up to me, Yamal, man. Always have faith in him.
I think Yamal, when I looked at him, he is what coaches are trying to coach at the game now. He's so direct. He's so aggressive. His feet are crazy. Right foot, left foot. I love Yamal. And Rafinha is another one as well. I think possibly the best winger in the world.
Rafinha or the meat?
Rafinha. Yeah. Possibly. I said possibly.
Bro, they were calling Rafinha's name. Apparently,
tell him your theory about Rafinha.
Because I'll just I personally think Anthony could do what Rafinha is doing at Barcelona.
No.
Wow.
That's what I think. And that's not to
spin.
And that's not to say that Rafinha's dead. Like Rafinha's dope, but I'm just saying if Anthony could do it at Barcelona,
Anthony with Rafinha, you're calling Rafinha dead.
I'm not. I just think it's we've seen Rafinha at Leeds, right?
He was good.
And
you know Arsenal were going to sign him.
He was, of course, Arsenal was going to sign him.
To
be Saka's backup.
Make sure you're measuring the process.
To be Saka's backup. But he just said he's the best winger.
No, I didn't. I said possibly.
Possibly. The only reason he isn't is because Anthony's shooting is very, very touch and go. That's the only thing I would say. Rafinha is a better striker with the ball.
Okay, but Rafinha's way better than him, by the way.
Yeah.
But obviously, when Joey was asking about the take, that was what the take was.
Yeah.
But it's more so to say that take that Tibbz just said is wild. He's not the best winger.
He said possibly. But question for you guys.
Sorry, it was also the death of defending as well. That game.
Exactly. Shocking.
Definitely.
Not for everyone, but Stoney played sick, bro.
Yeah, no.
But overall, as a collective, I think Inter and Barca were
It's like almost
went
you
the
can
best.
score more goals.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you guys, do you think, because it seemed obviously we saw what Barcelona did to Real Madrid in El Clasico, like, do you think for them it's just like, let's go machine for machine? Or do you think at some point they need to say, they've taken the lead now, let's just control the game a bit more? Because if they did, they could potentially be in this final right now.
Okay.
That's not instilled in them though, is it?
No, and I was going to say football's been like that for a while in the European leagues. Like I used to watch like Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Like if you see how many chances like they present to teams, just the way that they put, they just push forward, bruv. Like they don't really like concentrate on defending us. La Liga's a lot of the same of that. I think probably English Premier League is more balanced because it has a strong focus on defending as well. But then you've got people like Ruben Amorim that is trying to adopt that European style, and he doesn't care about defending, not too much, and neither did Ten Hag. Like it's just
Ruben doesn't care about defending.
I don't think so. Not with that formation, bro. There's too many gaps.
No, because you like play 5 at the back.
You actually wouldn't. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's
more against Ruben Amorim rather than saying that he wants to play more attacking. But it should be 3 at the back and very, very dominant. But this is just not being executed.
Yeah, because it's 3. Yeah, but they can defend, and they can defend it. Because I think with like, you're not Man United, but Man United, like it's like we've got 3 centre backs, but they're not really 3 centre backs. You'll see the wing backs are up, like as wingers, and then you've got the 2.
I ask you to hold that. Then when
yeah.
So obviously it's Inter And do you guys have anything else you want to say on that PSG? I mean, Inter.
No, I think it was a great game. A great attacking game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
now
Thuram was playing exceptional.
Oh, yeah.
Thuram,
Some Marlies owe apologies to Thuram, bro, because they've been ripping him.
He gets to me, man. I don't know why
he played good over both legs.
Yeah,
he played a sick Emil Heskey row still. But I do you know what it is with like black strikers? I just don't like when they're not quick.
Emil Heskey was. But the way Thuram played, like, he had everything. It's like I was saying to Amdela, like it was like everything that I'd imagine Xerxes to
I hear that.
wanna be.
I hear that.
Good centre forward.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I do hear that point. That's why I don't really think like that. Would you take Thuram at your Arsenal?
Yeah, of course I would. Like,
He's on the right profile.
no, when I say like, because basically the role he was doing is the role that I've enjoyed. Like, let's say Havertz doing, even Marino doing. But then I actually saw it done the way it's meant to be done. Not saying that they aren't doing it, but I was like, oh, that's what hold up play is.
Yeah, fair.
You get what I'm saying?
Fair.
So yeah.
cool. So with the final PSG versus Inter, who's our bets on?
I'm going to
PSG.
Yeah.
PSG.
Yeah.
All
Their
PSG.
attack is crazy.
So question is, if we say, okay, do PSG have a weakness? Let's start with Inter first. What's Inter's weakness?
I'd say their attacks.
Yeah, same.
To be really honest.
Yeah,
If they're playing against
But they scored 6 past Barcelona.
Yeah, but Barcelona's defense was terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's not on record as being the greatest, man. Like,
PSG's defense one of the greatest.
No.
PSG's
but they know how
defense
to
they know how to
tactically
structurally
better.
arrange themselves
That's
better, in my opinion. But obviously, Thingy's defense is quite top tier when it wants to be Inter Milan. But I just feel like the way PSG are going to dominate the ball and have the same defensive assurity is going to be a bit stuck.
In the Milan kind of switch off too many times.
I do think it's going to be a boring final. Do you think?
Yeah, it should be.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
you think
no,
it's going to be a free
I
flowing like the thing?
It won't be as free flowing as the Barca game. I think it'll be quite
I think it'll
entertaining
be one-sided to be fair.
to PSG.
Yeah, PSG. They've
You
got.
can't
it won't be
underestimate
one-sided.
Inter, you know.
No, it won't be
No, I'm
one-sided.
not underestimating them. It's just I can't even pronounce his name. What's his name?
Inzaghi.
Yeah. What's his name on the other
Skelly.
side?
I can't see that.
If Dembele is fit,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
they've just got
Dembele
too
be
much.
back.
And
But Dembele used to.
And
Doué's a crazy
He's a
player.
mad- he's a
Yeah.
mad-
But you're saying
That's
about
my guy, man.
without saying going to him about Arsenal, them guys didn't show up too much in that game.
I didn't even give my opinion about the game. I think Arsenal done well and Ruiz just unlocked them and then it just happened.
Yeah.
But I think PSG got too much going forward. And Vitinha sitting.
Yeah.
Vitinha's another one
Yeah.
who just dictates everything, breaks up everything, plays it off.
Neves.
Yeah, Neves, man.
He's
surprised
like
me.
what's the French kid that they had?
Right.
Right. It's like a little miniature midfielder, brother. That's just fighting hills.
Like they've got the whole balance with the squad right.
He's only 20 as well,
Defense,
you know.
they've got the maturity at the back with the pace and the youth out wide,
Yes.
and they've got the balance in the middle, and then the attack just does what it does.
And Kvarat Skelly, he just drains your concentration.
Yeah.
man.
And if
You know what I
Donnarumma's
rate so
performing
much
how he
about
performed against Arsenal,
Hey, let's not. We keep on getting back to PSG.
No, I was just saying. I just want to say I really rate them because obviously we've seen them at the first half of the season to the second half of the season, and they are really good proof of what an effective and an efficient,
Recruitment.
in the January window
Yeah.
can do for the rest of the
Agreed,
season.
Yeah, they used it well.
They done well, but they
Yeah.
booked us though, man. We gave us a guy, brother.
Yeah, I know.
And then got Neves, brother.
Yeah.
It's a full house. Everyone's saying PSG to win it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%, man.
Cool. So you guys are speaking to United, but let's move over to the Europa League. So Man United 7, Bilbao 1 on aggregate. Spurs 5, Bodo Glimt 1. So that creates an all-English final of the bums. So let's.
I'd say that,
they're both going to lose.
El Clásicos.
And then ironically, you both lose 2-0 at the weekend.
Yeah.
So
These guys have got a death pact or something, bro. I don't know.
so take away. So let's before we go into that game.
Yeah, go on.
The whole thing. General discussion now. What do you guys think about the fact that the rules have changed and now the Champions League team no longer drop into the Europa League?
Okay, it's not a problem.
Obviously, you're not going to.
This is
Objectively, when you look at it, you're going to say that obviously the competition has moved down one peg because you're not getting the quality of the Champions League teams drop down to make it a bit more interesting. See if you can actually step up to their level to move into the Champions League. But at the same time as well,
makes it easier for teams like
it does make it easier for us. But at the same time, does it not also just kill the Europa League because then those Champions League teams, as we say it.
Didn't kill the Europa League.
Yeah,
Well, in terms of like the Champions League
why do they
teams.
deserve to have another opportunity?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, in terms of because they'll probably be more likely to probably go on and win it. That's probably why they've dropped them out.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many teams have actually won the Europa that started in the Europa League. I think any team that's won it, they've dropped down from the Champions League.
Yeah,
So that's like that's Seville's like business model, and that's why I personally think it's good now that they've changed it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, it may have taken the glamour away from it. But I think the way football is now, everybody wants to win a trophy. So I think everybody will still want to win that competition.
Yep.
So I personally think it's the right thing.
Especially because everyone's got amnesia. Because now everyone's going on like this competition is the holy grail all of a sudden, and I'm completely forgetting that it's got weaker. Like
who said it's the holy grail?
What's that?
The amount of chat that I'm hearing from United fans such as yourself, Dre, man, Marley Mar.
When you say holy grail, what do you mean?
Going on like this Europa is...
Bro, I think the thing is you still need to realise...
You're not really appreciating that it's actually got weaker.
Okay.
No, but it's a massive deal for us because at the beginning of the season, we obviously, Manchester United would have targets, right? And the target would have been to get in Champions League. Obviously, when you hear that, you say top 4, top 5. But like the target is getting Champions League, bro.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. And like Della said, it is giving an opportunity for less fortunate teams such as yourself.
Those are not my words, bad words.
Yeah, exactly. Switching it up.
The league is the league.
Wait,
You know where we are.
Worse than saying this is the battle of the bums.
Which is the truth. But on that. So again, I'm working my way down before we hone into the game. But
yeah, that's fine.
The mere fact that United are 16th and Spurs are 17th, and they're both in the final, is that a reflection of like how bad the competition is, the Europa League, or how good?
Because we've been good in it.
Or how good the Premiership, or how strong the Prem is, because you've got 2 English teams that are down there, but in Europe, they're in the final.
It's neither. Because I feel like the 2 teams that are in that position, they're actually better than where they are, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
And the rest of the clubs in their team, they've smoked them. Like Bodo Glimt, I actually thought they were going to do something.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a reflection of how strong the Premiership is? That the mere fact that these teams can underperform in the league,
these are teams that are better than they are. They're better than their positions.
Yeah, of course.
This is a competition that is...
What I'm saying is it's a different approach because our form in Europa is substantially different than our Premier League. No, our form in the Europa League is substantially different than the Premier League. Obviously, we've the whole tournament, we are undefeated. Like, and we're winning games. Like, kind of
to
thing.
my point, is it the level of the opposition you're playing?
Yeah, because we definitely we've got the ability to turn it up. What we're not doing in the Premier League. I mean, I've said a couple of episodes ago that Premier League, I don't even watch the games, but I was at a barbecue joint when the game was on yesterday, but like I don't Premier League one watching that for at this point. Like, I mean, it's obviously good to see a team, and like I watched the highlights to see obviously how Ahmed was playing because obviously it's his first start. But outside of that the Premier League season for us is done.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think like what you said the Premier League is done. So I think some managers now, their focus just changed. They set up to be cup managers. They set up for a cup run. So Ange and Ruben have just said, let's forget the league and let's go for that.
But when did they say that though?
When they've realised it. It does become a holy grail, like you said, because that is a way in to fulfill their target that they set at the beginning.
No, and I appreciate the route. You get what I'm saying? If I was in the doldrums like that, like I'm taking it however I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. But I'm just saying that when we were in the doldrums like that and we were going out, we're going out to teams like Atletico Madrid. We're going out to teams like Chelsea. Whatnot. These guys are going up against Leon.
Sorry, that's that timing thing that Arteta talking about.
That's true.
So now you understand Arteta.
You're talking about the level of the competition, but you have to bear in mind that this season, like United have taken points from Liverpool. They've beaten you lot in the FA Cup. Spurs have beaten Liverpool in the League Cup. So I don't think it reflects on the Europa League in my opinion.
But this is why I'm not really having it because, and this is what annoys me about it, is because I struggle to rate teams that are getting up for like, are they Tranmere Rovers all of a sudden?
No, they're a cup team.
You're only getting up for your Arsenals, your Liverpools. You know what I'm saying? Your Manchester City.
It's a cup mentality, isn't it?
But it's weird. Like,
we drew with you in the league, though, didn't we?
No, that's what I'm trying to say because you're no different to Bournemouth or Wolves. They all get up for Arsenal. They all get up for Liverpool. They all get up for... So when you're saying that they're actually better than... Sorry, I'm Joey, I didn't even hear that. No, I'm not even being rude because I literally didn't hear that. But what I mean is like, when you're saying that they're better than the rest of the league, I'm like, really? Because maybe Brighton, maybe Wolves would be doing this against Lyon. and whatnot.
They are.
Nah,
they
But
are
at the
better
same
than
time, you got to give Spurs and United
Credit
their
for what?
credit for getting to a final.
still a competition.
Yeah, it's just
You
a
gotta win.
competition, bro.
100%.
You gotta beat what's in
any
front of you.
competition, bro. You
Yeah.
make it to the final. You have to give credit to the team.
And
that's there,
and
bro.
the thing is as well, a lot of people with Atletico Bilbao, they would have said, "Oh, United are going out." They would have said that before the game.
Yeah, but they didn't even have the Williams brothers playing. Like,
Bro,
you
they had
guys
them in the
even-
first game. We spanked them 3-0. What are you talking about?
But again, it was
Second-
10
yeah.
men. Like,
Exactly.
What's
You
interesting?
still have to beat what's in front of you.
Yeah,
What's interesting though is like our season. Funny enough, like obviously we have the potential to win a cup and get in Champions League via the back door. Our season is as bad as it is. Like Arsenal probably would prefer our season, and we would prefer your season because your season shows a level of consistency without trophies. I think being that we've won 2 trophies like the last 2 years, we can afford to maybe not win one and like for this year, but have consistency in the league. But Arteta's thing is, you said he needed to win a trophy, bro.
He did.
So if he won a trophy and got in Champions League,
No. I swear to you, if we had won a trophy and I was 16th in the league, we wouldn't even have a podcast because you lot would have kicked me off. Because all I'd be saying is just gaff out of my club.
Yeah,
even after winning,
all I'd be
I don't know
saying.
if I believe that.
I promise you, bro.
Wow.
Do you think I can
delivering
be
your first
16th?
European title.
But being
Joey,
to these
do
points,
you think I
17,
can-
and get in
16.
Champions League?
16, 17, we not even 40 points. They've averaged 1.08 points per game.
If it was Arsenal, it would be a blip. It's like if it was Arsenal,
No,
it'd
but
be a blip.
Travis, let me just flip
That's
that. Because
crazy.
obviously, Della's always saying, let's look at this objectively. And you talked about it before about
I'm
the
not
same
looking at
thing.
objectively.
No, but
You
I'm
just-
saying there was a stat or something that came out and it said Man United are probably the worst team in the Premier League, one of the worst teams to actually put away their chances because their XGs are actually not actually that bad. It was like minus 8.0 or something because they can't put away the chances that they're putting in.
Minus.
So,
I didn't know you can get minus XG, bro.
Nah, you can. It's like over the season, trust me. So my thing is, if you haven't got like a striker, bruv, how are
Which
you
you have.
expecting? No, but come on, we all know. Like I knew it as well when we signed it. We signed a guy called Højlund who didn't even really prove himself at Atlanta.
But to me,
we have got a
that's
striker.
egregious.
Yeah,
And
but
you had
I know he
Rashford
scored
as well,
5
yeah.
goals. We spent 70 million and you're expecting him to hold
No, but
the
that's-
line.
but I can't
Come
lie
on,
to you.
that's wild. Even for someone.
I think if you're spending 75 million for a striker that's unknown from Atalanta, bro, you better be good, bro.
Yeah, that's my whole
Thank you,
point.
because
That's a mezzo, bro.
that's it. Thank you.
It's a big
That's
mezzo.
honest. That's a real mezzo. And when we were like, we were all on the podcast, you guys were obviously optimistic because you don't know what's to come.
yeah.
But we were.
Yeah, we were slewing, man.
Yeah, we were slewing. And I said, I don't even think he's as good as Bentner. I looked at his highlights.
Yeah.
I went and did some research. I said, this
I
is
think
bad.
you might have had a problem with that.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, but listen,
And you
time
might have
to
said
heal
something
up.
that you
No,
prefer.
time to heal up. Time to heal up.
You said you prefer him over Ivan Toney as well.
Yes.
Time. No, I didn't say that. I didn't
Yes,
say
you
that.
did.
No,
You said
I didn't-
you prefer
I didn't
to
say
have him
prefer.
over
I
Ivan
didn't say
Toney.
prefer. I'll say it's better the devil you know. We've got Højlund, and I'm not.
Either one is wild, bro.
And now, if you ask me now, I might say Tony. I don't know. I'm just healing, man.
He would have clapped goals.
But the thing is, you guys have gone out and recruit. I don't even think your striker situation is the same as other clubs or like your Arsenals or even Liverpool's, who both clubs we'd say that we both want strikers next season. I'm assuming you want strikers.
Want a new striker?
Yeah, but where you guys got your new striker, and then you even added
Twice.
to Ife. Like this is why I put Ineos on the watch list, man.
Yeah, it's mad. So I think Xerxes will come good as not as a striker, as I don't know, as a shadow striker, whatever Dele Alli type.
Like Joe Linton.
No, Joe Linton's a midfielder now, so it's
Yeah,
probably not
just
even
back.
that. But like, if he accepted that he's just better as a 10, like,
I think he does accept that.
Yeah.
He said he's a 9.5.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah,
the way
like,
you're
just say
playing him.
just say you're a 10. You're not a
But
striker.
if he's a 10, then yeah, you're going to judge him based on 10s and he's not there. So
I
he's best to say I'm a
I don't
9.5.
mind him as a different kind of 10. Like, because he's good at hold up play. He brings people into the game. He just can't score for some reason. So yeah.
Who was that attacking centre back he had last time? The Dutch guy.
Which one? Us.
Yeah. The striker that we used to defend.
Oh,
from us.
Weghorst.
Yeah.
I wish we had Weghorst now, but we'll be at least 10th if we had Weghorst, man.
Oh, if you
Yeah,
had
we would.
ECH, you'd probably not be where you are, man.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be progressive. I think that's obviously that's why with Ten Hag, like we're in a situation whereby, like for me, I prefer him to stay. Obviously people calling for his head, but for me, like get into the summer, he knows who he doesn't want, and I feel like to get the
You wanted Ten Hag to stay, or
Sorry, I said Ruben. Yeah, because Ruben, I feel like if Ruben stays, like I feel like he has the authority in the summer to say, all right, this team, based on obviously this season, we can't allow these people to stay. And I think if a new manager came in, it would go through the cycle again of him trying to make the team work and then getting to the point where he identifies that the team just ain't it. So if we want to improve, we just need to stick with.
But my thing would be though, if as professional footballers, if you can't adapt to a system within 6 months, then being at Man United is not your level.
Or maybe sometimes ask the manager to slightly adapt as well.
No, but I know you've said that before, Della, that you're telling him to slightly adapt. But
I'm saying be flexible.
I know, but ETH kind of did that, and then they were still dead. They were playing in a formation that they actually found more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's coming now and he goes like, guys, this is how I play. This is my formation. You've had 6 months now, and some of these players still cannot play football in a formation that he wants for 6. So for me, if I was in a job, I've passed. I won't even pass my 6-month probation. That's like, sorry, you ain't got the tools. You can't do
Are you
this.
talking about the players or the gaffer?
No, I'm talking about the players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about
There's a few
the
different variables with that because they might not be able to fit into the system, but they might not even be able to fit into the league completely.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true as well. But at the same time, as a professional footballer earning so much money, you should at least be able to go, you know what, he wants me to play like this. Okay, I'm not expecting it after 1 month, 2 months. Let's just say 3 months. Then you're going, okay, I can see something. But we're 6 months deep now. And even Ruben's actually turned around and gone, you know what? I'm not sure if even I can do this. Because how much can a manager do when it's like, you guys, you know how much I can play.
Wolverhampton, though.
No, I hear that. I hear that as well.
You can't say that Wolverhampton have a better team than Man United.
No, they don't. They don't.
So,
but that's what I'm talking about. Is it personnel then?
This is
Or
what
is it
I was
personnel? Might be the
arguing.
coaches.
I'm not sure that they don't have a better team because Ruben's 6 wins and 25. What was it?
It's not good.
Come on, at what point do you hold this man accountable? No, because I feel like his PR is almost up there with Arteta's, and Arteta's actually got a right to have some PR and some sort of cult following. But why are you guys just giving this guy a blind?
So I'll let you land. And before I let Dre speak, in terms of the team that they beat, and I think this calendar year, outside of the relegation teams, you've only beaten Fulham. So everyone else, you guys have lost, and this is him managing the calendar season. So like when you're saying, I know you're saying what you're saying about the players, but at what point do you say, as a manager, can you do better? Because he's trying to play a formation that it's unique to him.
Yeah,
as in this is his thing. But guess what? He's not the only one that plays that formation, and everyone else plays it much better than him. Palace are doing it.
Yeah,
Newcastle switched to the weekend and played 3-5-2, and they dominated Chelsea. We've seen Inter do it. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that as a manager, okay, I may not have the exact personnel, but I know how I want the formation to be played. So maybe I can tweak it a bit better, so everyone wins. Whether
I hear what you're saying as well, but if I was to think like that, then he'd do what, like you said, he'd get us to, I don't know, maybe top half of the table. And then he'd be like, right, summer, I'm going to do a clear route. I'm going to get who I want. Then I'm going to switch formation. But then...
No, I'm not saying change formation. I'm saying be just flexible.
Yeah,
like you can tweak it.
Okay, so...
Because I agree. I'm at that point where like, if you're as good as the manager as the sector is saying you are, Liverpool wanted to get him, they didn't get him, but he was obviously on the short list. Like, if this guy is so like highly rated, like how is it that he's not able to be flexible? I feel like a really, really good coach might have he's got his plan A, but have a plan B and C as well. For moments in this where like you're trying to get over the line, but you also want to see how other things work, kind of thing. I understand you've got plan A, but plan A might you might not be able to do plan A until the summer, until like you have a window.
He definitely doesn't have the personnel.
I agree. The plan A doesn't work.
But imagine he tweaked it as well, and then we actually play all right. But then I don't think tweaking it is gonna make it stand out who he really thinks are dead as well. Because people might excel in those tweaks.
Maybe.
Who do you think is dead in your team?
I personally...
Is that a trick question?
I don't know about dead, but I
Lindelof,
think...
can I start there?
Yeah, Lindelof, we know he's gone up.
Trash,
Garnacho, I just don't think is consistent enough for us.
Well, would you let him go?
Probably for the rules, I would let him go for the money and then get someone else in.
I'll keep Garnacho.
I think you lot are overrating the plan B, bro. Because
so who like if you needed a rebuild, who would you want to see out?
Players,
Garnacho.
Because obviously it's not working with this system, with this manager, and you guys obviously are saying the manager's Like you're
It's
backing
in
your
safe
manager.
hands. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Keeper's got to be the first one to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm there.
no.
Like, we need it. Out is another thing, but I know what we need. So so out definitely Lindelof.
But he's gone.
Just get out. Shaw as well.
Yeah.
okay.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Everyone
It's never available.
Yeah,
But then,
not available.
but then outside of that, if we could sell a Højlund, because I don't think he's like.
I think
you'll
loan-
cut your
get-
losses on
get-
Højlund.
get-
I
rid
think
of-
loan him.
Nah, there's no point. Get rid of him.
Why you think he's gonna come back and do better?
Yeah,
I think like let's just loan him as well for a season. You don't lose nothing.
No, you can't loan your £70 million sign.
nah, it's just
Where would you
that's-
loan him to where he can come back
That's
better?
a suckable offence.
Even
Yeah,
left
it's
alone,
a
it's
75
like,
M's,
I'd
probably.
probably say a
Nah.
championship club where
Yeah.
where it's
To
kind of
see how
pretty
he
down
can
there.
perform.
£75 million striker.
I know.
Championship.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
I'm just saying if you talk about education,
Yeah.
Amorim might as well. book his
But the
flight
thing
back
is
to
but the thing is,
Yeah.
I've said it before, is that people put a lot of onus on these players that play for Man United. But a 22-year-old striker playing up top for Man United, like, it's just stupid. Like, even if you thought about it, that anyone thought that he would be amazing, it's stupid, because what experiences has this kid
He
ever
wasn't even
had?
first team at Atalanta.
No, but what experience
No,
has he
he
had
wasn't
to
the
come
starting
in
squad.
and
So
then...
I'm
no,
saying-
he
I'm
was
saying
first
telling
team,
me,
but not
yeah,
the
that
starting squad.
you guys get rid of Højlund,
Mm.
Shaw, Lindelof, and you guys and
And he said
obviously replace
Garnacho
them.
as well.
He said
Yeah,
Garnacho.
Garnacho. And then
I-
you think you guys are all right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but
I
you're
don't
not
say we're all right.
looking to replace Højlund with Delap. So the
Mm.
age thing ain't really.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but he's Premier League
Mount looks like
proven.
he
That
could
probably
probably
my
work
thing as well.
But now,
if Mount's safe, I said that earlier on. Like Mount is
Højlund.
like a good player if he can stay fit.
Yeah, Mount is
Um,
good,
Mount.
yeah. He
You gotta give him a
fits,
chance.
Amorim's-
Yeah, he does.
210s, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
Yeah, he
it's,
does.
there's fitting, but he can't stay fit.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
exactly. That's
Assuming he
a
can
different
stay fit.
story, though.
So, a question now, yeah. So, essentially, you're sticking with Ruben.
Mm.
You're saying let him get his players. Essentially, how many players, one, that you think is realistic that you can bring in, and two, that will change his formation and make it work? Because right now, what you're saying it's the personnel that's not working, right?
Mm.
So realistically, how many players can actually come in and then make the formation work? That you can realistically see your club, whether you're selling players and bringing players in, realistically, how many can come in and in what positions?
Probably 2 or 3
No, I
max.
think we'll get more than 3 because we're gonna get rid of a lot of people. Like I think obviously Sancho looks like his guy, and Rashford
Apparently, Sancho they might send back.
He's gonna get sold. So Anthony's at Real Betis. He's gonna get sold as well.
Yeah.
Lindelof's obviously out of contract. Eriksen's out of contract. Shaw will probably go. And Højlund will stay. Let's be honest. But then that's a lot of like departed players. I think we'll sign quite a few players. They all might
Give me a number. Like
What do
five
you
players,
need?
and then what position?
What position?
And then what position?
You don't even have to say the players.
Formation
Like,
work?
what
So
position?
for me, key position is goalkeeper and a striker. I think that's the fundamentals. For
And
me.
you think that will make Ruben's formation that all of a sudden it's not working?
I think we won't lose as many games because I think we drawed a fair amount. We've had a lot of chances in the league, and we've just been incapable of putting them away. And I think a striker helps with that.
Yeah.
Højlund is that bad, bro. Like is not great. So I think if we can start with those positions as a foundation, I think we
Then 3 more.
And a DM. I think another DM.
Yeah,
I've
you
just
just need
thinking,
another
yeah.
CM as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a CM will be good, but I don't think we need it if it plays. If obviously it's hypothetical speaking, but I think if our players stay fit, then we should be all right.
Yeah, but if you look at I feel like he's trying to replicate Sporting. If you're adamant that you want to play the 5 at the back, and if you just look at the profile of players that he has at Sporting, he's got the centre mid, I think he's Norwegian or something, and then he's got a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that at Man United. Like Ugarte is not any of those guys.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
agree.
what he's lacking. And then he had Marcus Edwards, and you don't have that profile either.
Where's Marcus Edwards?
And Ahmad.
Right,
And
that's Ahmed, isn't it?
No,
Ahmad,
he was a number 10. Marcus Edwards was a 10.
Oh, okay,
For
but
him, yeah.
if Xerxes stay fit, Xerxes will be good. That I actually genuinely think he'll be there.
I do like Xerxes. And then, so maybe Xerxes and Mount. But then-
Xerxes Mount.
Yeah,
Then- and you've obviously got Ahmed.
so I'd say 3 players for
But I think
Three
I
or
think they
five.
will sell a youngster because we haven't got the books are cooked.
So
Yeah.
Garnacho. They get rid of him.
Yeah, because I think they'll have to sell him to. So obviously, like I think we said it before, they sell like a youth player who's come through the ranks. If
Who
I
does?
do
Wait.
5 or 6, 5 or 6.
Oh, is it
years.
as in we need to, or we?
Yeah, to help the books
Oh.
if you want to bring in players,
Also,
financial fair play.
Yeah.
Bruno doesn't fit into the system.
Bruno ain't going anywhere.
Oh no, he's not going because I think Amorim came out and said doesn't want him to go, but
No.
he doesn't fit his system.
I think if Bruno's playing, I think is most like the best position for him to play where he's not as damaging as he can be because he gives the ball away. He has to play him on the 10s.
Mm.
For me, just play him further forward. And it was same with like
I like him in the 10 though.
I like him. I like him higher up. Yeah. Same
He
with
doesn't have
Pogba.
enough space to do what he does best though. In the 10 position, it's too.
Yeah, I think he does.
But he doesn't have the legs to play in the CMs, bro.
Everyone says he doesn't have the legs. You know, he's like got the highest
I see him running
recovery
back.
rate
I see him doing
European
it,
leagues, bro.
But his physicality in terms of recovering the ball is poor. It's poor, bro. It's like Odegaard in my opinion.
No, but it's the fact the stats say it's not.
He doesn't do ball recovery.
He has a lot, bro. He's second like in Europe or some shit.
No, recovery runs, not ball recovery.
Ball recoveries, bro. Like is like behind Caicedo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just one behind Caicedo. Like he's like so he's got good defensive stats. But he just because he's everywhere.
Swears by him, bro. I think Bruno's trash. But actually, no, that's harsh. He's not trash.
Bruno's
But
trash.
he just really swears by him. But I don't know. I don't know why Bruno just hasn't done it for me. I don't know.
But you see that plan B though, it's overrated, bro, man. Because again, like you see like other managers that stick with their plan A and their focus on making that the greatest. We saw Arsenal's plan B in the Champions League, bro.
But I think you should have like a plan B is okay when you haven't got the facilities for a plan A. And I don't think we have the facilities at the minute.
Yeah.
Evidently, we're in 16th place for the plan A, which is why he's been very vocal in the sense that we need to get to the summer. We need players.
But when you say plan B, do you just mean like a tweak of your plan A, or because
a tweak of your plan A? So like change something to make what we have work. And I feel like we're very, very.
So does that mean
approach.
even like just a standard 4 at the back?
No. I would if you're going to play 5 at the back, play 5 at the back. But you can't be as the range is just off, bro. The wing backs are just like out. Like the playing of wingers, like it's weird. And I don't think you can do that when you haven't got the quality to do so. Because if you have got the quality to do so, you can be very dangerous.
That's
but
true.
evidently, in the fact that we're not scoring goals, it's not working, bro. Like, it's not.
Well, and if you don't score, then you need to make sure you don't concede.
Exactly. So if you're going to play that formation, like be more defensive. You can't be so gung ho. That's my opinion.
For me, I think it's you do his summer, and then I think by Christmas, obviously, if he's not performing, then the pressure's going to be on him.
Which is interesting because then you're the ball players to play in the 3-4-3.
Yeah. If he doesn't win Europa, bro, it's peak time for him, bro.
Yeah.
That was my question I was going to ask. So you're playing Spurs now. So and you haven't beaten them this season.
Yeah.
How do you feel going into that final?
Confident.
Yeah,
Confident.
their injuries give me the confidence. That's the only thing.
Any Madison that's injured?
Yeah, maybe Kulo as well, apparently. Yeah, Kulusevski, maybe.
Oh, right.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, maybe. But apparently he hasn't come back to his usual form because he's like, I think they've kind of maybe rushed him back a little bit. But I saw them against Palace and I just thought, it's just going to...
Everybody saw you against West Ham.
I hear...
Position's different, bro.
Yeah, I hear that, but... I just, it's gonna, like you said, man.
We're both gonna lose, man.
Yeah, man.
If we could, we'll both.
Exactly.
But I actually think it will be like one of them crazy games. It might even end up like something like 4-4.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of goals.
You had a good Carabao Cup game was like that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
It was something
Yeah,
crazy.
it was
like that.
aggressive.
Goals galore, I think. And
Big Andrew's gonna do it still.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is obviously that statement, bro. Because he really put that in the universe. But I feel like he's him being an arsehole counteracts that statement, bro. Because
he's so fired after. Do you see his interview when they said, "Why are you so trash in the Premier League?" And he said, "Because of our cup run."
Yeah, it was mad. I heard that today.
he said
It's
something
mad.
along
He's
he knows he's leaving. That's why he said.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's a
Tibbz,
corner.
that was one of the wildest things.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, "Are you seriously asking me that question?" The way his stupid accent, yeah. And then he's like, well, obviously we're competing in the Europa and we had a Carabao Cup run. That's why we're doing crap in the Premier League. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I said, after he beats United, he is so fired.
No, the thing is, and for him, if he wins, he's gonna go up on a whim. Like, I told you. Do you know what I mean?
He needs to just do what this London Athletics said this in one group chat. He needs to do what Rafa Benitez did for Chelsea, bruv. Win it and just get F off. Not even go and do the presentation. Just go down the tunnel, bruv. And just get ready. Just get ready to leave, bruv. Because bruv, there's no way Tottenham are keeping that guy in the job.
It's definitely gonna be a wild final.
But for football,
yeah,
Tottenham have to win.
No,
and I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm saying this.
That's
for
wild.
Football, Tottenham have to win. No, it's not
for
wild.
football.
Because you can't.
We've been more entertaining than them.
Yeah,
bro. You guys, you guys
in the Europa we have in Europe.
I don't really watch Europe.
I'm not sure. You scumbagged your way into the FA Cup win. Kudos. Then that FA Cup win got you into the Europa.
Yeah. Oh, so
And then you now win the Europa.
Wait, hold on.
No,
To get- wait, hold on.
scumbag.
Yeah,
They beat
yeah.
Man City in the finals.
He's talking about the game before against Coventry, right?
Against
Yeah.
Coventry. They
Yeah.
cost me.
Yeah.
They even cost me the dream team. I'll never forget what they done to me.
And
That
Andy
was
celebrated.
wild. That was
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
Results are results. Be
And
like,
then,
Yeah.
after you won that,
Nah,
FA
you're
Cup,
talking to
then,
Arsenal.
then you won the Europa. Then you're trying to win the
I
Europa.
wouldn't say
yeah?
we won the Europa. Yeah.
No, well, God forbid. But you're trying to win the Europa, and then you'll be in the Champions League at 16th, 17th. No, at some point, football has to win. I'll
Football's
even
winning, bro.
Yeah,
Football's winning
Like,
right
thank
now.
you.
Football's winning.
It's
Football's winning because it's
Yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League.
exactly.
No, I agree. Because that's why Arsenal, and I love Arsenal, yeah, but that's why we didn't, like, football couldn't win. We can't go and win the Champions League and do what we done. You can't do what you done in the summer and then be in January, be that pompous
fair.
and do what you done. And then PSG did what they did. Football always wins, bro. So you can't. You
Football's
cannot
gonna win,
win
B.
the Europa.
But hold on, would it be a bigger feat for Ruben though, knowing how crap they are and that we know he didn't want to come and that he doesn't really have the players that he wants? Would it be more of a feat for Ruben than Ange?
Yeah, of course. He's
Probably,
been there, sure.
Yeah.
Probably
But then
both
if
of
he-
them would be like, they would have good bragging rights.
Yeah.
That'd be Ruben half as that's be an Arteta, innit? He's
Yeah.
come in half the season, he's won something.
Good question.
And Ange, obviously,
And obviously, Ange
They've
has
not
made
won
that
anything for
declaration.
ages, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 years. I think.
So, if you guys don't win the the Europa, how would you assess your season?
sack him.
It's very, very poor. I think it's very,
Yeah,
very
man.
poor either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's just not glamorize it. I think I throw it in the group that Man United need to win this competition because we need the money. We need the money for the Champions League. 70 mil to make sure we can secure Kuna, give 60, what did they want? 62.5 million to Wolves. We need that money.
You're not even letting your staff come out for the Europa.
No, we're not. We've sacked that off.
Apparently, you're hiring a cinema room.
State of
Yeah.
Gets like that, man. We've got stadium to build, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, he's moving crazy. He's moving crazy.
so last question before we move on. So, if Ruben was to win the Europa League, do you give him the credit or do you give it to ETH?
I don't care. Again, I mean, it'll be like I'll be happy that we won the trophy,
Answer
but
the question,
it-
please.
no, I genuinely wouldn't care.
But you
wait,
care,
because-
so you care more about Arsenal because you
Because
love
done
giving
wrong.
it to
You done it
Unai
wrong.
Emery.
You done it wrong, bro.
That's
He
not
wasn't
the
sitting in
question,
16.
though,
He wasn't
bro.
sitting in
When
16.
did
That's
ETH get sacked?
Before January.
Yeah,
Before
January.
December, I think.
Yeah.
Before December.
They can share it. Your point is they can share it. Whatever they want to do, bros. But I genuinely don't care, bro. I'll just be happy that.
Yeah, I'd just be
I'm
happy
sure
that we win a
we've got something
trophy.
to
I can't at
argue
this
with.
moment in time. It
I
doesn't
think,
really
no,
matter.
you know what it is?
Who gets
I would
the,
definitely
credit.
give Amorim the credit because, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say why. Because how many games I played in the FA Cup after January?
I don't know.
So wait, sorry. Actually,
December
Wait,
9th. I
wait,
think it was December
I think all the
19th.
games in the after January in the FA Cup, yeah, mostly. And then when did Arteta come in?
In
December.
December. So what? So why did they call it Emery's?
Hey, man.
Wait.
You joined them.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, I was like, you're not making a point.
No, I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind now if that's the case.
Alright.
Because obviously in Europa League, no, like I've literally just unraveled myself. In Europa League, you play the game over the season, innit?
Yeah.
So if anything, Europa League is more ETHs than FA Cup was Arteta's, bro.
Okay.
I just made a discovery, bro.
well played, host. Well played, host. That was great.
This guy, man. But no, my opinion is the same. It'll be it's both their trophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
the thing is,
But also, I genuinely don't care. Like,
Yeah, of course.
The only reason
Arsenal fans in the game, bro.
the only reason I want to win it is because it gives us a bit of breathing room,
yeah, again.
and I don't need to run away from my group.
Sorry, guys,
definitely.
we owe Arsenal fans an apology, bro.
Why?
Because that's Arteta's cup, bro.
You owe an apology. I already know that, bro.
You said it's cup, bro.
But
You said it's Emery's as well, bro.
yeah, bro.
But it's Arteta's cup,
50-50.
though.
No, it's not
50-50.
probably because it's Emery's team, bro. Like that's my.
The thing is with Marley Mark, yeah. He's
stubborn, bro.
I knew it, bro. I'm ready, bro. I've looked at when the game started, bro. I knew exactly.
So this guy is openly admitting he's a fraud.
Yeah, you're a fraud, bro. You're a fraud, bro.
This is why I
It's
told.
Emery's team, bro. What's going on, bro?
No. It don't matter whose team it is, bro.
All right.
Because what? How many managers?
Emery has one game, by the way.
So
He
is
did
this
not have any.
Is this
He had
other
one game.
slots Premier League or is it Jurgen Klopp's Premier League?
Yeah, that's true.
It's on the slots, bro.
What are you talking about, bro?
He's a
We've
punk.
got-
This is why when London Athletic was here, this is why I said Marley Marl's the reason.
I didn't know you were like this, bro.
Yeah, I knew he was like this. So when I'm going at them in the group, stay out of it. Stay out of it, bro.
My fault.
There's a reason, bro.
You're scum, bro. You're scum.
Yo, let's round up the European thing. So Conference League is the final of Chelsea v Real Betis. Your guys, United guys, Anthony can increase his pricing value. But what do we think of that final?
Yeah, Real Betis playing well still. Isco and they're playing well. So hopefully he can get that win it for them and get 2 trophies from.
Yeah,
I think Betis' form is going to carry them into that one.
Yeah.
So everyone's thinking Betis.
They're on
But
form.
Chelsea have been a bit inconsistent as well, to be honest. But
But
at the
really
same
Premier
time,
League,
they've
bro.
been playing a lot of their kids in there. So I can't really.
They've got to play someone at the whole 89 players.
Yeah, I know that's the whole point. But
So if they don't win it, because I've had the value of the Chelsea team is probably more expensive than every single team that was in the Conference League combined.
What?
Yeah. The squad.
Makes sense. Yeah.
The Conference League is below Europa League,
That's
bro.
great. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, wow.
So how does that look for them if they don't actually win it?
Oh,
yeah, it's peak.
Yeah,
terrible.
They
should, for all their players, they should be able to find an 11 to win that competition.
Yeah, they should win it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as bad though.
Yeah,
you know?
because
it's
did
crazy.
anyone watch the Betis Fiorentina game?
Honestly, like I
Yeah, I
think
watched the
like,
highlights of that. Watching.
I think these teams, are getting away with murder. I think Chelsea's getting away with murder. I think Tottenham's getting away with murder. I think United's getting away with murder.
How so?
You're
Because
17th, bro. 16.
because I think not to make this about Arsenal, but when we were in like 8th and what have you, we were being told that we were being replaced with Leicester in the Big Six. Like we're no longer Big Six. You're getting, like Della just said, Chelsea have got a squad value that's probably worth more than every other team in that competition. They have to win. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
United and Tottenham. United's got heritage. Tottenham have they've become Big Six. You can't be 16th and 17th. But we're not seeing enough about it. It's funny, I was on the way to the studio, and I see Andy Goldstein from TalkSport.
Yeah.
Literally see him at the
the
station, and because
he's a mad Man United fan.
he's
man.
mad,
Yeah,
Man
it's
United
crazy,
fan.
yeah.
But because I see him so much, I thought like, where do I know him from?
Yeah.
Like, I thought, did I go to school? And I was like, it's only like after I've walked past and I'm just waiting at the. That's the op from TalkSport.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back over there, right? Because the way I looked at him and he looked at me, he looked like we knew each other.
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
probably just looking at me thinking, what's this guy about to do?
Yeah.
I was like this. I was exactly like this. So he's thinking, oh, here we go. But I didn't clock it at the time. But anyway, I'll bring him up to say, like, bro, you got guys like him, just bare media platforms that was giving Arsenal a hard time. And I just don't know why, even you guys,
Because
you guys as the everyday fan, you're not, obviously you, Rayman and Marley Mar, you're Man United fans. Liverpool fans, Tibbz, Joey, you guys aren't giving
Do you know what it is?
You're not giving them a hard time.
Go on, I'll let you answer.
You know how like Liverpool kind of won the title a while ago and then everyone's saying nobody's talking about it? It's because it's kind of ingrained in, and Man United have been shit for a very, very long time, bro.
Yeah, we have.
Like, and personally, they've not been chatting shit to me. That's
exactly it. They ain't been chatting shit.
We're just
Because they can't chat shit to you. That's why.
But they're not.
You know?
There's examples in there.
But when you say they guys all pointed to him. But I know you guys know some nice Arsenal fans.
Of course.
We all do.
We never say anything to
You're the
them.
lightning rod for
Why do you keep pointing
I
at
promise
me?
you, bro.
Okay,
Can I clear something up as well?
go for it.
I actually adore Arsenal. I think you lot have a great
I'm
team,
there.
great stadium. Everything about Arsenal I like, but not all the fans. Some of the fans I just want to kick because they chat so much crap. They're so entitled
Arrogant.
based on their measurements of success. We finished on more points than last year. And then when they get it back, they can't take it. They can't take it. So this is why we are not giving it to Man United and Tottenham and Chelsea because they know their role. You lot don't understand your role right now.
I think you're obsessed.
Arrogant.
I can't keep my. I have to
I'm
keep my
obsessed
phone
with
on.
Gravenberch
I have
right
to
now,
keep my
not
phone on
Arsenal,
charge
so-
because this Tibbz guy will be tagging me a million times after every result. Bro, you've just won the. You've won the Premier League.
On that.
You've won the Premier League. Why do you keep tagging us, bro?
Let's switch over to
Hypocrisy.
the race for the top four, and we're going to start off with Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2.
Yeah.
The scoreline is what it is, but I think before we actually discuss the game, let's talk about the biggest thing, which is Trent
Yep.
We know he's going Real Madrid. He didn't start the game.
Mhm.
And then this team of yours,
Yep.
or your club, sorry,
Yep.
who've been saying, some guys, London Athletic and co, say you guys are very honourable in the way you just handle yourself. Your fans booed him.
Yep.
What's your thought on that?
I booed him as well.
Oh my God.
Booed him.
What?
I booed him
That
as well.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
When I saw him warming up, I booed him.
Why?
Oh my God.
Let me explain. I explained this on my story
Yeah.
because people don't understand it. We are not upset with Trent leaving.
Mhm.
It is the manner in which he's leaving. Now, people, I've played football. Sorry to throw that out there.
No, go for
I
it.
am the first yesterday that's played football.
Yeah.
As London Athletic plays football.
We gave you your credit, man. We gave you your
Thank
credit
you.
back there. We
Thank
don't need
you.
to do it twice.
Thank you.
Sky Sports News sticker, yeah?
God of honor, when
Nah,
I'm
but
leaving,
big
God
up
of honor. So, yeah, it's the way he's leaving. Now, as I said, he's not obliged to do anything for Liverpool.
Mm.
He's not obliged. But it would have been a nice gesture for you to extend your contract by a year and say, Madrid, sorry, come and get me.
Mm.
Come and get me. Come and give 20 million. Come and give 40 million. Something. Anything. Being a local lad, it would have been a nice gesture because there's players that are not from the area that have done that. Cunha done that at Wolves. That's why someone's buying him out of his contract. Coutinho made sure that we profited from him. So it would have been nice for a local lad to do that. And as I said, he's not obliged to do it,
Yeah.
but it would have been good. Now, the problem is people are telling Liverpool fans how to deal with it. You can't tell a Liverpool fan how to deal with it because football is religion up there.
But what about the ones that live in London?
Football is religion down here as well. It's religion for me. That's why I booed him.
Okay.
Wow.
I am so happy. I'm so happy for him to go and be ambitious and go and do what he wants to do.
He's won everything with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's he's won everything. Like, what?
I know, I'm not
Because you're
disputing
saying
that.
like,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying stay.
No, I know
I'm
you're not,
saying
but you're just
stay.
saying that it would have been nice to sign an extension. But on the flip side, what if things weren't going so well for him?
But-
You guys would have tossed him to the side.
But like I said, the thing is, I've
And
played.
like you said, you've played football, so
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure you've been disposed
so my
of
thing is,
unfairly.
this is my assumption, there was a secret agreement for him to run down his contract so they could get him on a free. Because we offered him 200k more than what he's getting at Madrid.
Yeah.
He turned that down 40
Yeah,
million.
but he's
So
getting
he's
40 million.
going
He's getting
there,
40 million in his back pocket, though.
Yeah.
But doesn't that make you
But-
respect him more though? Because
No.
then it's not about the money
No,
now.
'cause
he's
I'm
literally
He's getting
just
4 million in the back
He's
pocket.
getting 40 million in
it's
the
all
back
back
pocket.
pocket.
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah.
a conspiracy or
No,
do you
that's
know this?
true.
That's true.
I think he gets
So-
the
He's a
same
free
thing,
transfer,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mbappe got a similar.
Yeah,
it's about
this is what I'm
40
saying. Fiorentine says, run down your contract, 40 mil signing on fee.
Mm.
We'll get you for free.
What would you do? I'd
Yeah.
take
No,
that
I'll
too.
take it.
No, but then you understand why you're getting booed.
Yeah, but I took the booze as well.
Yeah,
You have to boot me.
But I think he knows why. Like, he's him and Bet Jude, like they look like they're
more than
marketing wise,
friends.
they get it. Like, so he's probably accepting that.
Mm.
That's what it is.
But I
man.
think the booze are uncouth. I think
Yeah.
I think it's distasteful.
it's Real Madrid.
Because
It's not nice at all.
No.
I mean,
Liverpool fans do it.
to boo him, like, because bearing in mind, like, I know, like, Liverpool are the most decorated team in England, yeah, but obviously us guys, yeah, like, within our lifetime, let's just say, like, from youngest to eldest, we've seen the whole Premier League era and maybe a little bit of before that. Liverpool weren't what they were now. But then Trent is a massive part of why Liverpool
Absolutely.
are. And the way you guys have the chest to talk the way you're talking on today's episode, the episode prior. Trent is a massive part of that. 2 Premier League trophies, Champions League trophies, won everything, the FIFA World Cup, everything. You know what? The most respectful way to leave, I saw Tigo actually tweet it and I actually agreed with it, is probably to go out on a free. Like, you got,
So
that's probably
I've
the
said
most
that. I've said that
respectful way
because
to leave.
that's the biggest example of
Why?
loyalty.
Yeah,
They want to run out your contract.
Okay, yeah.
And so you obviously, I've been
And
vocal.
it's
You don't know. You don't know where I stand.
FSG.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the club are at fault as well. We're not saying the club ain't at fault as
But
well.
also, why are you booing the player for?
Because he's the
Yeah.
one that's running on the pitch.
Yeah, but if John Henry was on the pitch, are you being John Henry?
Dash.
There you go,
everything.
bro.
But also, people forget as well when Trent scored that they can't see. Obviously, they'll see the visuals. But he did this like it was just speculation.
Yeah,
it's not true. I'm not leaving. He did that.
He might have been talking
Nah,
to
he
the
might
fans.
just say it's
No,
all
he-
talk.
he-
He might,
he
he might
explained
have
it.
been
No,
talking
but
to the
it's-
fans you're
It
not
was
talking to.
no,
but-
But
Yeah,
they were
literally,
right.
that's
They were
why-
telling us, they were saying the truth though. So,
Exactly.
And when they
So-
what did you hung his shot on the flag as well? Was that like
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
like
We said
yeah,
that was a
I
party
think
game.
he's rubbed the
I
I think he's rubbed the
No,
fans up the wrong
No,
way.
but
as
you know
well.
what
jersey,
though?
yeah.
Let's be fair to him though. Like, who told? Was it Alex Crooks? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who told
Alex
him to
Crooks.
break the story?
He took a hunch, bro. I'll be
He-
honest, he didn't.
He
But,
doesn't
like,
know nothing.
Trent, but
He don't know nothing.
Trent was robbed of the opportunity to
Mm.
tell you
To
guys
explain.
in his own way. So you guys you already know your feelings are the pent up feelings, the feelings of resentment, everything. And I like you've said, Tibbz, and rightfully so. You're well within your right to feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit unfair to Trent because he's been robbed of the opportunity to present it the way that he might have presented it
Of course.
if it wasn't for
Yeah,
some
yeah,
gung
that's
ho thirsty reporter trying to get the first be first to
Listen,
the
I'm
scoop.
going to be happy. I want him to do well at Madrid. I do. I just don't like the way he's leaving. If I have to be
But
honest,
you lot say you never
cut it
walk
down.
alone, but you
Yeah.
left him to walk by himself,
Yeah,
right?
man's
no, because
talking
I'll
that.
boo him while
Hey,
he walks on his
well,
own.
Yeah.
What I will say though, obviously, you lot know where I stand with him leaving. I didn't understand where you guys were.
Yeah.
But then when I started seeing all the clips of him saying he wants to be at Liverpool forever, he wants to be the captain, he wants to be this, he wants to be that, I kind of get it now.
How long ago did he say that?
Doesn't matter, bro.
It does matter.
No,
No, because I
People
was
change.
remember I was having this convo with Don the other day. Yeah, I was
And
like,
I swear you even said it on
wait,
this
hang on.
podcast.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
sure-
No,
I'm sure you said it on
I
this
didn't know.
podcast.
Remember you were saying to me,
Yeah.
you told me. I didn't
For the
know.
record, he did say that last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing all of this stuff now, and I'm thinking, oh, rah, because
He's
you
allowed to
said
change his mind.
how long ago you're allowed to change your
Of
mind.
course.
But it's like if you get married as well, you're allowed to change your mind and fall out of love. But I'm allowed to still be pissed off at you,
Yeah.
bro, for changing how you felt.
Yeah.
Whether you were 20 or 15 or whatever, bro. Like we were in this together, and now we're not in this together. You're leaving me to go
Hey.
to our biggest European rivals, bro, that keep on beating us.
But
And
one-
we need to beat them, bro.
The one thing I would say though, come on, like you all know how football works. You're
Yeah.
probably like one injury away from
Very fickle.
retiring.
Fickle
Yeah.
stuff.
We all know that. And even if he got like a year extension, it doesn't mean they're going to come back in for him. They
Bro,
might
this-
go and sign someone else, and then
this logic thing you're doing, bro, that doesn't run in football, bro. The
No,
fans don't care about that, bro. You
I
just
know,
wanna
I
let
know,
out
but
emotions,
come
man.
on, man. He like Strive says, he's given you guys a lot.
Everything.
He's been there from the beginning,
Of course.
and then he's
Now
just
you're back-
Real
now you're
Madrid
buying
have
the
come in
shirts.
for him.
They would
Yeah.
have come. They would have come back for him. They would have.
But T, you
I
said
don't know. You.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
think
man.
I think they would have moved
Carvalho's
on.
done. His knees
What's
done.
the other guy that was trying to get the Alphonso Davies, bro?
That's
That's left
back.
back.
Shit,
innit?
man.
Yeah,
of
left
course.
T, you said that he should have signed a new
They
contract.
were trying to get
Mm.
from
Who?
Kimmich,
Oh, yeah.
because Kimmich was
Kimmich.
out of contract.
Oh yeah,
as
but
well.
he's out. So
Yeah,
probably-
extensions.
Yeah, what? So when should he sign that year extension? Last year or this year?
Last year.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So last year. So that means we'll pay for
Raw would have to pay something.
this for
This
this
year.
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my
But then
question
Liverpool
was going to
could
be
just like sting him like how Tottenham stung Kane. And
They
Yeah.
could,
One
but
year.
they wouldn't because
No, it's
Like
a
you
year,
said-
a year though, innit? So it would
Yeah,
only be
yeah.
And then Real Madrid could wait another year, to be honest, man. Like, it's a great opportunity for him to go Real Madrid, man. I can't begrudge him that, man.
no, we can't.
I said
Yeah.
if we win the league, I'll drive you to the airport myself, bro.
knowing how Perez operates and Real Madrid operates, and it's particularly in the last like few years, like that was a deal that was made way
and
before.
people,
like,
people
yeah.
know that he's a very scummy.
Yeah. But,
and he does a lot of
You got to respect it.
but yeah, like Sir Alex, but to be honest, like Sir Alex used to do a lot of them. I know for a fact he used to do a lot of back deals with like leveraged relationships he's had to get.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad at it. I'm just jealous. I'll be honest. I'm jealous of
40
it.
million in your
Listen,
back
listen,
pocket.
bruv,
Nice,
bruv.
bro.
All
It's
the
good
best to
work.
Trent anyway. All the best to him.
So on Trent, let's go to Conor Bradley, who's going to be his replacement.
Yeah.
Are you confident that you want him to be like the first team replacement, or do you think you should bring in another right back and he be the second choice right back?
I think we should bring in another right back, but I think we should make the right back force his way in
Mhm.
past Bradley. Bradley's more than capable understudy. He can actually defend. We might lose on the passing and the crossing in the assist side, but he can defend and he can get forward when he needs to.
Create chances
Yeah,
as
he
well.
creates chances. So I'm more than happy to have him there as the first team and have someone challenge him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an injury.
Yeah.
Concern,
Yeah.
that's all I have for him.
And where his mental state is because his father passed away this year.
Yeah.
And that took a toll on him. He hasn't
Mhm.
really come back like how he burst onto the scene, which is understandable.
Yeah. And so on the game, you guys went 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And when that was happening, what do you guys think was going to happen? Were you just going to dismantle Arsenal? What were your expectations?
Yeah, no, we should have, man. We had loads of chances. Yeah, I think we could have gone 3-4 up in that first portion of the game. So, yeah, but I did kind of know that we were going to ease up. As
And
soon.
what potentially draw?
Not concede 2 goals.
Okay.
Maybe concede 1. I thought it was going to finish at 2-1.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, Odegaard's been hearing this Bruno guy talking shit.
Yeah.
So he thought, let me get onto this thing, innit, man? But no, shout out to Arsenal, man. But I'm seeing reports that we only did 1 training session last week. So it's a knees up now, man. Everybody's having a great time at the club.
In the
man.
season friendly, man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't expect Arsenal to score so early. I thought they was going to score a bit later, but they came back and they did what they did. Me personally, when we went 2-0 up, I was saying in my own head, I know Liverpool sometimes the second half, we do a madness. We do a complete madness. And it's weird. If we start the game well in the first half, we do a madness second half.
Yeah.
If we start crap in the first half, we do a madness in the second half.
Has that been under Slot? I know you
under Slot.
Under
Yeah.
Slot.
Where's it under Klopp as well?
Under Klopp and under Slot as well, man.
I think towards the end of Klopp's reign, we started doing that.
Yeah,
But Slot is consistent with it.
I've been bigging up Slot because he makes good tactical changes when we start off rubbish, and we always seem to get the 3 points. But yeah, as Tyra says, it's vice versa as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to Arsenal, I think that's kind of just obsolete, man, because you guys just don't seem to know how to beat us.
My man, you got lucky, bro. I don't know why Konate fouled my man, but you lot got lucky.
It's not. You're saying you don't know why he fouled it. That's what you guys have been doing. You guys have been trained UFC fighters all season.
Yeah.
PJ Morel just don't seem to send
You
you
looked
up.
at Highland, bro.
Wow, like what was he doing, man?
Yeah,
Like,
that was wild.
I'm pretty sure Robbo had his arms around Saka's neck. You guys are brutes.
That's a little
You
man.
guys are brutes, animals.
Yes.
Animals.
When we play Arsenal, because we don't like you.
Yeah, because that's what Kukurea does against Saka as well. So I'm assuming that he thought just be aggressive against him as well, man. But
Yeah, of course, after what happened before we saw
exactly.
it. Yeah,
Exactly. He cooked him.
He had to
When
try
you
and get
start
his
doing
back.
that, when you start doing that to a player, it's a compliment. We're saying,
Yeah,
Saka,
yeah.
we know you're a great player.
Mm.
This is how we have to deal with you. So it's a
Yeah.
compliment. And I rate Saka. I know I get onto him, but he's a great player. Not better than Salah, like what you lot were saying.
I don't think I've ever said that.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't, but I've heard it. We've heard it a lot.
It's definitely been said.
But he's a great player, and you have to find a way to deal with him, or else you know what he's going to do, and he'll do it, and he'll score, or he'll
Yeah.
assist.
With Saka though, that miss in the first couple of minutes. By the way, that was a brilliant set piece play.
Yeah,
and it would have been so
On
funny.
both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah, both sides. Because I
Okay.
thought we said it.
Do you know what I've always said?
sense.
Why don't the team just sprint out?
Yeah.
But then Saka said, "Nah, let me run in
Yeah,
late."
yeah,
And it
yeah,
worked.
yeah.
But doesn't it happen all the time though? Just on this occasion, it
No,
had
I've
to be
never seen a
played
team
out.
sprint out like that.
No, as in there's always a late runner running in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
time
think
it's
we
played out.
anticipated that.
And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw when Konate was pushing them offside as well.
Yeah.
When they were trying to run.
Yeah,
You know, when
yeah.
you lot tried to go onside. But
I don't even think Saka even expected it.
No,
It's
he
like,
didn't.
I think he was like,
He
oh shit,
didn't.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
worked. And
Wow.
then, when he missed, I was like, bro, you
he
can't.
said it's happening again.
Because you know what was mad? Like I was I'm in a Gooners group chat. I keep saying it on this pod. Yeah, when we was playing PSG, bro. I know when Inter was playing Barca, Lamine must have missed the chance. You don't remember it?
Yeah.
At the end.
And I was like, Saka buries that still, bro.
I will say though, Saliba looks very tired.
He does.
He's been all season.
Gaffers
No, I
in the
think-
UCL.
I don't know actually. I don't know that he looks tired. I just think, you know what I think's happening? I think
Diaz doesn't score that.
Yeah,
So
he
was
looked
on
fat,
form.
bro, man.
I know, yeah. Like for some reason he's looked at him, but then he's let him get ahead of
Yeah,
him.
it's
But you know,
reaction, innit? Just reaction time.
you know what I think it is? Remember when I was saying that I don't think Gabriel gets the credit that
Yeah.
he deserves?
Mm.
I think we're just maybe seeing that a little bit. And that's not to take anything away from Saliba. This is more so to just give some credit to Gabriel when there's
He's having to
certain
do more
guys
'cause
like
he's
Marley
coming
Marr
from-
that never used to put the
What's my
respect on
man's
it.
name?
Kirio. Yeah.
He's having to do more now because Kyrio's
Probably don't communicate as well.
Gabs.
That's
No, but you know, like it took you a while to get there. And when I used to say that, I think you need to give Gabriel a little bit more respect.
It's been 3 seasons now.
But you not say world class. Or sorry, some of you
Top.
No,
I
this
said-
season,
I
this
said-
season,
I
yeah,
said
It's
well,
debates
that's-
about
I said-
whether Saliba and Gabriel are better.
Yeah,
than
no.
Van Dijk.
said
Last
top
season,
2
they were the
he said
top
that.
2 CBs in the
Who?
league. Last season.
Who?
Gabriel and Saliba.
This season he's been top. He has been top.
Who?
Gabriel.
I would say
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But there's only been one top centre back for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Who?
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, what? Not last season.
But hey,
Not last season. Last season, he wasn't above Saliba
Strives.
and Gabriel.
Last season he went as good as he can be.
Yeah, but he
still the
wasn't.
best.
That's how he wasn't above Gabriel and Saliba.
Strives, you said that
This season, yeah.
you said something about Liverpool and Arsenal record. How many times have you lot beat us in the last however many?
I mean, I don't think we've won at Anfield for a minute.
2000.
no, what about even at Emirates? What?
At Emirates?
Yeah.
Come on,
How many times-
we beat you last season at Emirates.
Is that it?
And then the season before that at Emirates as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
He ain't beat us at home since 2001.
Maybe.
Wait, you
but
beat us 2 seasons in a row at Emirates?
Yeah. Like we took 4 points off you last season, 4 points off you the season before. This season we've shared the points.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. That's why, because you know what? You guys are the Prem champs. Like, and you know what? Since yesterday, I've been in battles, and I don't actually understand why. Like Liverpool fans,
Come on.
It's because you went missing for the week before and then you came back this week.
Is it because you're arrogant, bro?
All right, so Della, Drayman, Marley Mar. What are you always asking of me? If just stay quiet, stay humble, shut your mouth. I do that one time.
No, did you?
I do that. and then you lot, then these
No,
lot,
what
yeah.
we asked is for a balance, bro.
No.
You can't come back with
No. It's just what's crazy. You man you lot don't know what you want. Because Tech Fresh has been like. There's been times when I've been thinking like I nearly want to say something, but I said no, I'm not. Because he gets foul with it. Like you know, like the spite that he talks with. They're like, wow, like, why? It's not even that deep. Like, I'm just keeping quiet. I have got nothing to say, and rightfully so. You have a problem with it. Tibbz is tagging me every minute. I've got Cuff doing missing posters.
You have to be honest.
So then
you are getting what you have been given.
I haven't but
maybe not in this moment, but in the right moment.
I'm going to need you to learn a look at the time.
Yeah, fair. Sorry. But it's just more so, I'm just like, you guys want me to keep quiet. When I keep quiet, there's a problem. So I'm like, all right, the fans want me to talk. So I talk. And then you get at me again. And then you turn around and say, Strives is the worst Arsenal fan ever. Like, bro, I can't win. I can't win.
Because this is obviously the strides we know in it. Like, obviously, when you lean too much on the other side, be like, is everything all right at home? Like, you know, so it wants to be yourself, but like, find a nice little balance, you know?
I don't know what to do, bro. Because you don't know I want to win trophies. You know I want to win trophies. I'm not winning them, but you want me to talk. So I'm like, what can I say? The only thing I can say is Liverpool bottled a 2-0 lead. So,
Okay.
So Tibbz, you said that Saliba's not really been himself. I think, is it for the first goal?
Mm-hmm.
That's when Robertson crossed it in. And I think
it's the second goal.
I mean, whichever one.
Yeah.
That means probably 2 then. Even the first one, he...
I thought that was Ben White though, man.
No, that's it. If you watch it, so it's like, if you watch it very, very closely...
Saliba should have dropped in.
Either Saliba should have dropped in, because Ben White already dropped in. So what Saliba should have done was... I don't know if I'm thinking of the right one, but there was one bit where they swapped positions. Saliba should have actually stayed on the right side, but he literally told Ben White to go, and he slotted in. By the time you slotted out, it's...
That ball was right
by now. But yeah, that's literally that. There was more to talk about the game. I'm just mindful of time. Quick one. Marino suspended. Trossard might be injured. Rice might be injured.
Yeah,
how you feel? Very, very quickly. How do you feel going into...
I feel the same as I did when we was in a similar position after the Real Madrid game. I think it's the advantage is, even though we're at home and it's at the carpet, advantage Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
Arsenal need 1 point to...
qualify for Champions League.
Yeah, 1 point to qualify for Champions League, but you need 4 points to secure second place.
Well, we need revenge. Like, I think, as much as the season's done, one last mission. Deal with Newcastle, because Newcastle smoked us this season. Like, they beat us in the Prem, knocked us out of the Carabao Cup. We need to just give them a quick hit 'em up session, and then we can retire. But yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But you know what I liked? Martinelli's
playing for the middle and switching with Trossard.
And you see some of the runs that he was making. That's what we've been missing, kind of thing. And it's like, wow, like that. You know, like I see stuff and I'll be like, see, if we got the striker, like, because if Martinelli can maybe do that, if Trossard's not available, whatnot, maybe I don't know what Ethan can come off whatever punishment Arteta's got him on and can start playing. Like, I don't think that game is lost against Newcastle. But yeah,
cool. So let's do a very quick roundup of race for the top 4. So Newcastle beat Chelsea 2-0, so that means they are 3rd right now. So as it stands, Arsenal on 68 points. No, Arsenal are on... What Arsenal on? 63.
No,
why did I put 68?
68, I think.
Arsenal on 68. Arsenal on 68.
Well, I think I was on 66.
Newcastle on 66.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through this and quickly round up. So Arsenal on 68. The next 2 games are Newcastle, Southampton.
Yeah.
Newcastle beat Chelsea. Their next game is Arsenal, Everton. Southampton, Man City, draw. Haaland's back, so that's good for the FA Cup. But they're on 65 points. And they got Bournemouth and Fulham, which are both winnable games. Then, obviously, Chelsea are on 63 points. Man U and Forest next.
Okay,
Then
guaranteed
Villa,
3 points, yeah.
63, Spurs and Man U.
Another
And
guaranteed 3 points.
Forest, who are currently, I think they're
Spurs Man
6th.
U in the league.
What did I say?
Did you say Spurs and Man U? Yeah.
Yeah, that's who Villa have.
Villa.
Yes, Spurs and Man U.
So Villa's got 6 points guaranteed.
Yeah, probably.
So overall, okay, who do we think will make the top 5, which is essentially what they have to be? So you got Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle right now.
Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City.
I think Forest do it as well.
Forest.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
Forest,
League.
they have to win both of their games.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think Forest do it.
Well, they have to beat West Ham and they have to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, West
Yeah,
Ham are
it's
better.
winnable.
on that up.
And Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are both,
Look
they
at
go.
Chelsea's form right now. So up and down.
Does that mean it's 3-6?
I wouldn't want to see them in the Champions League. To be fair. I think Europa League is a nice step for them.
If they go into Champions League, I do feel like this Marinakis guy or whatever, even though I think he can.
He will have to invest. I think the Nottingham Forest team right now is decent. I think I'll
Not
prefer
good
to.
Champions League.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
You're
see them
right,
there.
you're
To be honest,
You're right. You're right.
Europa League is good for them.
Squad wise, it needs to.
And after you came on pitch, bro, I don't want him to go to Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he
Nuno
came on the
does,
pitch
but-
because of
The injury.
he should never
The
done
injury.
anything. Yeah, but
Injuries or something.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, the injury.
Nonsense. He's supposed to be seen.
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
He's big jeans.
What you saying is
Big jeans. Man.
Just honourable mention. No, I did that in the back pages actually. Speaking of back pages, let's round this off. So, back pages listeners, this is where we shine light on players, managers, or clubs. Doesn't have to be football related, or anything they want to shout out this weekend. Start with you, Strives.
Can I give this opportunity to play Cuff's back pages? I don't know when. Shall we find it? Brent, shall I disconnect or should I play it from the thing? From the speaker, yeah. From the phone speaker. So good. While I'm getting Cuff's back pages up, my back page is gonna is going to.
Do you want me to go circle back around?
Yeah,
Ross?
circle
Okay.
back around. Yeah.
J-Man.
Luis Enrique.
Yeah, good one.
PSG. He's like talked about his daughter as well, which I thought was a bit deep. So yeah, I think the spirit's there with him to hopefully go and win the Champions League. So yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, Manuel.
but Barcelona, I'll go for Barcelona. They won the league, right? Is it so
Not yet.
No,
pretty
yeah.
much it's
Yeah,
done
maybe.
after your Clasico result. Yeah, I'll go Barcelona. Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah, special mention to Yamal, but I'll go with Inzaghi, man.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
On that side, obviously, I asked a question in the group. I don't know if we all answered it. Would you rather be a better player
Tough, man.
or a better manager?
Yeah, man.
That's tough.
Better
Better
player.
Yeah,
Better manager.
I feel like
Better
better
manager.
manager as well. You
Yeah,
know?
T, what do you think? Not your back pages. That's that question first before the back pages.
You have to explain back pages to me as well.
Okay,
back page.
I think better player.
Better player.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, back pages is something that's happened over the weekend, or let's say the last week, in terms of it could be football that you want to give shine light to, and it's a good thing.
The headline.
So, for example, like a headliner,
Professional football or
anything, it could be
Anything,
anything.
any
It could be. It doesn't have to be football.
oh, can I do two?
Go for it.
Let me big up SVFL champions, Greenwich Borough Vets.
That's
My
your team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
team. You know, champions,
Champions.
and this week my twins started kicking.
Right.
So
Oh,
you
sick.
know,
Yo, big
Yeah.
up, big up, big up, big up.
that's my back pages.
So is that to your missus?
Yeah, to my
Job
wife.
well
To
done.
my wife.
Yeah, job well done.
Straz, are you ready?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give my back pages to. I'm gonna give it to Lamine Yamal. Like I know, like he should have scored that. He probably should have scored that chance against Inter, but I liked his performance overall. I feel like he's a real maverick. And then against obviously in the El Clasico, I like that he stepped up and he done his thing. Like, so this guy is
He's mad confident, man.
yeah,
Like scary, like to the point where it's hard to because we know he's not grounded. We've seen his dad.
yeah.
No, I think his mum grounds him.
Bro, I hope so, bro, because his dad's a wild boy, bro. His mom's a wild boy, bro.
I'm telling you,
His
man.
confidence is high.
But it's weird. I'm going to say something a bit controversial. I wouldn't say that I feel like he's going to be the best player in the world eventually.
They'll
I
win
don't
the
think he's
Ballon
there yet. Like, so when people do like the comparisons, I don't think he's better than Saka yet. and whatnot.
We have to wrap up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that but I do feel like he will be the best player in the world. And when I see performances like that, I'm like, yeah, like this, he might be a season and a half. Like he might realize that potential. So anyway, mine's going to Lamine Yamal, and then I'm gonna play Cuffs. He's been on the podcast before. He's a Liverpool fan, and this is his back pages.
Oh, and by the way, next time you're on a pod, can you you do a segment, back page segment. Can you give a special shout out from me? I'm giving my back pages to Martin Odegaard for following me for the last 3 years. He's swindling me to thinking this guy was a real deal. And I just want to apologise to a lot of Arsenal fans who included, because I believe that this guy was the real deal. This guy is the guy. He swindled me, man. He actually swindled me. This guy's a fraud.
It's crazy that you can have 3 good seasons, 1 bad season, and that's what you go with.
Honestly, fans here are the craziest people of all time. 1 season, but big up Cup. I thought I'd give him his words anyway. You know, I'm sorry, just before you wrap it up, you see when London Athletic was talking about Liverpool and we're talking about Liverpool fans and whatnot, I personally believe Liverpool fans are up there as some of the biggest scums that I've ever met. Obviously, there's 2 here in front of us. This Cuff guy, even, you know, he threatened my daughter. After they lost to Newcastle, we was on the way home. And I just called him to check on his well-being. And Max, innocent poor girl, she just found the conversation a little bit funny. He goes, "Are you laughing?" And then she just got a pair of daggers, right? So now I'm still waiting on his apology. Liverpool fans are out of control.
that one Liverpool fan, because I ain't threatening that.
Over to me. So I'll give my back pages to Ollie Watkins. Think he's now Villa's all-time Premiership top goal scorer with 75. So he's above Gabby Agbonlahor.
Oh, sick.
With
We saw
74.
the tributes as well. They did social media tributes.
I didn't even know. But it's interesting because I'm like, how many seasons was Gabby then? He only scored 74 goals. But hey-ho.
And Dion Dublin as well.
Dion Dublin's sick.
But sometimes he's playing defence as well. But cool. That's the end of it. Guys, thank you for working with us, Tyrus. Well, Tibbz, should I say. Thank you for coming second time.
Thank you for having me.
What did they used to do? Was it Soccer AM? Not Soccer AM.
Great age.
No. When they used to do the ball, if they come 3 times in a row, not in a row, but if they make 3 appearances, they get a match ball. It was Soccer AM, right?
Can't remember Soccer AM doing it, but yeah, we can do that, man.
Not Soccer AM. What's the one that show you just called out?
Soccer AM.
Yeah, Soccer AM.
It's the old school Soccer AM.
Yeah, old school Soccer AM. Yeah. Next time you come, maybe we'll give you a football.
Great age is crazy, bro.
Can I choose the football?
Well, football's quite expensive.
That's why I want to choose it.
Yeah.
It's not likely going to be a small one.
I will sign it.
Okay, cool.
But listeners,
Customized podcast Pundits on, man.
Yeah, green one.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, listeners, thank you for rocking with us. We are over, and we're out. Like, subscribe, comment with that jazz. Thank you.